Hello, good evening, and welcome back to episode number 14 of Fellowship Funchayat. And tonight we'll have with us an all-men panel. So let me introduce, first of all, posted in Akola district of Maharashtra, Rugwed Ainapure. Secondly, we have
Sure.
from Barabanki in Uttar Pradesh, Indrajeet Kumar. Thirdly,
Hello.
from Dadra Nagar Haveli, we have Prakash. Uh, next we
Hello.
have Next, we have from Katihar district in Bihar, Divyanshu. And finally, from Theni district in Tamil Nadu, we have Keerthi Nathan. So let's begin the discussion. I'd first like to pass on to Keerthi.
Right. Yeah, welcome everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you for that nice introduction.
I barely
Okay,
introduced your
so
name. Okay.
My name is Keerthi Nathan. I'm posted in the district of Theni. So Theni is in the one of the southern districts of Tamil Nadu. It also shares border with the adjoining Idiki district of Kerala. And so far it has been, I would say it has been a very rough journey, but right now it's going good. I've had a wonderful opportunity working with a lot of stakeholders. In the initial days, it was indeed tough, but right now, uh, uh, the work is going good, and it's like I'm enjoying the work right now, and I'm looking forward to the coming 5 months of this fellowship, and let's see where life takes me after this fellowship.
What about
So
Theni?
this has
Because
been,
you shared with us a lot of interesting photos from
yeah, right.
good.
So Theni is a very, very scenic and a very beautiful district.
Mm-hmm.
So Theni is known for its, because it is usually nestled around in the Western Ghats.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of mountains and there's a lot of waterfalls. So as one of our fellows was saying in that group, they're like every weekend they, bike nikal ke chale jate the. So even I do the same. Like
Okay.
there are a lot of places to explore in Theni as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this very scenic place called Bodimettu, which is in the border near Kerala. So that's a very and I'm sure most of you might have heard about Munnar. So Munnar is also just 50, 60
From Munnar,
kilometers
yeah.
from here.
Yeah.
So yeah, Theni is a very and actually it focuses more on the side of tourism also.
All right.
And Theni district is also home to one of the highest tea plantations in the world. So the ones which I was telling, the Kolukumale tea plantation. So it has one of the highest tea plantations in the world.
Oh.
And and also the district is known for its spices mainly, and it is known for its special variety called cardamom. So
Mm-hmm.
cardamom is a very it's a dominant spice which is grown here. So yeah, this is about my district. Yes.
All right. Next, I'd like to pass on to Divyanshu because we had a fellow from Karnataka. He dropped out yesterday, and I found a phone number. I asked him, and immediately, yes, I'm joining. So thank you so much, Divyanshu.
हाय एवरीवन सो दिव्यांशु बिहार में ही इनिशियल स्कूलिंग हुई मेरी तो देर आफ्टर फिर बाहर निकल गया तो इंजीनियरिंग करी वकालत करी फिर तो ऐसे घूमते घूमते ऐसा लग रहा था बाहर बाहर घूमते हाँ तो घूमते घूमते ऐसा लगा कि चलो भाई बिहार को ना मतलब बिहार कभी रहे नहीं मतलब द मोमेंट यू ग्रो अप स्कूल स्कूल में आप रह जाते हो तो लाइक कि चलो ये दिस इज अ गुड अपॉर्चुनिटी केम अब ठीक है मतलब मुझे लगा ये एक्सपीरियंस था लाइफ में हो गया और ये एक्सपीरियंस खत्म हो जाएगा ये कुछ महीनों में वो भी ठीक है ये अच्छा है कि ये खत्म हो जाएगा सो मैं कटिहार में हूँ ईस्टर्न मोस्ट डिस्ट्रिक्ट में हूँ वन ऑफ द मोस्ट ईस्टर्न मोस्ट डिस्ट्रिक्ट है एक साइड मेरे झारखंड है एक साइड मेरे बंगाल है नॉट वेरी फार अवे फ्रॉम सिलीगुड़ी एक नेपाल भी वो बहुत दूर नहीं है तो अराउंड 300-350 किलोमीटर्स फ्रॉम द स्टेट हेडक्वार्टर्स पटना है वन ऑफ द एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स है और एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स कहते हैं ये मतलब अपने आप में ये बता देता है कि डेवलपमेंट अभी यहाँ अपने फुल फ्लेजेड फॉर्म में पहुंचा नहीं है रोड्स अभी बहुत रिसेंटली लास्ट 5-10 ईयर्स में अच्छे हुए हैं इलेक्ट्रिसिटी लास्ट 5-10 ईयर्स में ही काफ़ी मतलब प्रॉपर तरीके से पहुंच पाई है तो ठीक है तो सोसाइटी में का जो डेवलपमेंट होता है वो अभी हो रहा है दैट इज गोइंग ऑन बट द गुड थिंग इज कि इट इज ऑन द राइट ट्रैक यहाँ वैसा कोई जैसा कीर्ति बता रहा था ऐसा कोई सीनिक ब्यूटी तो नहीं है बट कुछ माइथोलॉजिकल places of importance हैं. एक यहाँ हमारा एक block है मनीहारी, which is on the banks of River Ganga, or that River Ganga is the boundary for Jharkhand and Katihar. तो वहाँ एक mythological ये है story ये है कि कृष्ण ने अपनी अंगूठी की मणि यहाँ पे उनकी गुम हो गई थी.
Okay.
So the gem on his ring got lost in Manihari, so the name came Manihari. So
okay. And
so
from there, how was Katihar derived, or was the name already?
ना कटिहार के एटमोलॉजी तो नहीं पता, बट मणिहारी एक ब्लॉक है वहाँ का ये है कि चूंकि कृष्ण ने वहाँ पे अपनी
मणिहार, ओके,
हाँ मनी हर गया उनका, मतलब ही लॉस्ट हिज मनी, सो दैट इज व्हाट आई हैव बीन टोल्ड. तो ये एक थोड़ी सी रिलीजियस इंपॉर्टेंस है इस प्लेस का. एक यहाँ पे सबसे अच्छी चीज क्या है, यहाँ पे बिहार फर्स्ट कम्युनिटी रिजर्व है. सो देयर इज अ प्लेस कॉल्ड forget this. There is a place जहाँ पे बिहार का कम्युनिटी ने वो एक पॉन्ड है. सो इट्स बहुत बड़ा, नॉट इवन पॉन्ड, इट्स अ लेक, और उसको कम्युनिटी रिजर्व घोषित करके लोगों ने अपने से इनिशिएटिव लिया कि हम वहाँ फिशिंग नहीं करेंगे. जस्ट बिकॉज क्योंकि उनके फिशिंग करने के कारण जो माइग्रेटरी बर्ड्स वहाँ आते थे ना, ड्यू टू लैक ऑफ फूड दे स्टॉप्ड कमिंग. So people took up this initiative कि हम यहाँ फिशिंग नहीं करेंगे. So and in the last 2-3 सालों में migratory birds का यहाँ पे वापस रिटर्न पाया गया है. So that is one very good thing that has happened, and that is पूर्णिया. हाँ, पूर्णिया से बहुत दूर नहीं है. पूर्णिया is the around 30 to 40 kilometers. पूर्णिया इस एरिया का मोस्ट डेवलप्ड सिटी है. Most urbanized city around this region. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool. Next we'll pass on to Prakash.
Thank you Vedant, and thank you everyone for having me over here. Actually I am in Dadra Nagar Haveli, but I am native of Jabalpur. So my background is also from armed forces, so I have lived all over India almost, you can say, right? In north you can go ahead with Jammu. I visited my friend to the Rudrapur, then I have stayed in Delhi for my preparation. My graduation was from Bangalore. Post graduation was from Chhattisgarh. Schooling was from MP. Right now I am sandwiched between Gujarat and Maharashtra. Then I have also taught or interacted with some students in Nagaland. So yeah, matlab, it has been a huge matlab, I have traveled a lot, and I just wanted to highlight one very peculiar incident when I came over here. If you will visit Dadra and Nagar Haveli, see, if you are in Punjab, if you are in Haryana, if you are in Delhi, the moment I will say dhaba, it will be like hangout place in suburb area, like, right? So you will go there, chill. It may be vegetarian, non-vegetarian, right? So it is like chilling place, or in worst condition you will presume that truck drivers will stay over there and eat their food. But the moment you land in Dadra and Nagar Haveli, the moment you will ask people ki dhaba jana hai ya phir dhaba kahan pe hoga, they will have a very weird smile, thinking that the person drinks and eats non-veg. So dhaba is taken in highly negative context over here. That was quite a unique thing over here.
In my district as well, Latur, dhaba is something on the outskirts of the place, but then you don't see truck drivers and all. The regular citizens of Latur, they go over there, they sort of like their watering hole. So wahan pe they drink. Yeah.
So drinks are only served, but right now this is also changing a little bit because the government has become tight, and now there are regulation regarding licenses that you cannot sell it. Acha, why this practice was prevalent? There is another reason, because see, Dadra Nagar Haveli is a tribal district. If you come to this place if you see the census of 2001, approximately 80-90% people were tribals. But in 1990s, when Bombay mills were shut down, or there was exodus of the industries from that side, most of the industries, since this DNH was proclaimed as some economic zone or something like that, something of that sort, so most of them shifted to this place. So suddenly there were lots and lots of immigrants who were coming to this place. तो इन सब चक्करों में फिर ना मतलब पूरा डेमोग्राफी चेंज हो गई है एक तरीके से। और ट्राइबल कल्चर है तो फिर ट्राइबल कल्चर में ड्रिंक्स आर मैंडेटरी पार्ट, मतलब इगैलिटेरियन सोसाइटी होती है, विमेन इक्वालिटी बिल्कुल मिलेगी आपको। आप बात करेंगे लोगों से तो वो कहते हैं इवन शादी के बाद भी दे विल अलाउ देयर गर्ल्स, मतलब बहू जो कहते हैं ना हम लोग, उनको पढ़ने के लिए दे विल डेफिनेटली सेंड देयर डॉटर इन लॉ टू स्टडी। बट thing is drinking is not taken as a taboo in their society. So that kind of thing was hanging over, and the dhaba, since they will be owned by the locals, that is why local culture was prevailing. Another thing, I love eating food, like so yeah, there are two major dishes. If you ever happen to be two or rather three major dishes, if you are in this area, please have it. First one is ubadio, that is highly seasonal. You will find it somewhere around October to December, because there is one specific grass, and there is one flat bean which they call over here papadi, and there is different kind of sweet potatoes. You can say variety of sweet potatoes, like jimikand is there, and ratalu is there. All those they mix up in that pot which is lined by that grass, and then that is thrown into the fire. So that is mostly in winter season. People will sit around it, chit chat, and by the time fire will go off, they will take that out and eat it all.
In my home district, we call it popti. I don't know if it is, it has some other names in some different places, but we call it popti.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pokri.
Just to intervene, Prakash, what is it? Is it a fruit?
No, Ubadio is like dish. Ubadio is like dish.
Okay.
They will take an earthen pot. They will line it up with the special type of grass which happens grows in this region, complete region, southern Gujarat and little bit of Maharashtra, including Dadra Nagar Haveli. And inside that they will stuff everything. If you are vegetarian, you will stuff the non-vegetarian stuff like potato. Then there is ratalu, which we call short of sweet potato. It is slightly violet in color. Then there is another flat bean which is called papri. That is very peculiar kind of thing. Usually I don't like flat beans, but when they were cooked over here, I really loved it. So that is a very unique dish over here. Apart from that, there is another cycle chap roti. So that is a very unique name as well, because cycle, if you know, that is bicycle. So people, it is much more like cycle chap roti. So it is much more like the variant of dosa itself. In dosa, you ferment things. They won't ferment it. They simply will take the rice flour, mix water into it, and simply I don't know exact technique, but they will simply spread it over your flat tawa.
Yeah, I think this is very there's in Tamil Nadu also there's this similar to what you're saying. Just add water into rice flour and there's a sweet made out of it.
So there will be no fermentation or nothing.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, no, there's no fermentation. No.
Okay. So this must be almost same. So yeah, that is one of the unique things over here. And if you see, weird thing is, Daman is hardly 30 kilometers away from here. If you eat that dish in Dadra Nagar Haveli, that is made up of little bit rough texture. If you eat it in Daman, it is super soft, literally very soft.
Wow.
So I don't know what they do, magic. Apart from that, if you go about tribal districts, this is again one of the major industrialist towns. There is ODOP, which is yarn. So most of the immigrants come over here, work in yarn factories. In Dadra Nagar Haveli supplies approximately 60 to 70% of polyester yarn to the whole country. And tribals over here manufacture one specific musical instrument which is called tarpa. So they make tarpa using ripened bottle gourd. In that you will put the mesh, right? So they will have that mesh of the bottle gourd, fix up bamboo sticks in between using beeswax, and then use it for making the musical instrument.
Is it a string instrument or windpipe or
windpipe? Okay. So that's really wonderful, but that is again a dying art. So now SHGs are trying to make these earrings and all those things out of that. There is also Worli painting. And one more thing, just like Kerala has red rice, right? Dadra Nagar Haveli has somewhere in between brown and red rice, which is called kada rice. Dadra Nagar Haveli is selling it as brown rice only, but that is kada rice that takes at least 5 to 6 whistles to cook. And that is really good also.
That must make it really soft too. We are slowly transitioning into Kavita's kitchen.
Could not make it. It will become, no, 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 it won't become. It's very, very hard. Trust me, it is very, very hard.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Rice must be fat, na? Well, like very thick. The rice must be very thick, na?
Relatively, little bit thick. Yes, it is thicker
Right,
rice.
yeah.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Since you have mentioned rice, na, so I must share कि Katihar में we have rice twice a year. We
Okay,
have Rabi as well as Kharif rice. And at
okay,
some places, few parts of it, people grow rice thrice also,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
3 times a year.
Aman was Boro. If you move little bit southward or the west, eastward, then Odisha and West Bengal will be growing 3 times. Na? Aman, Os, and Boro. So that is the name actually. And you, when I was UPSC aspirant, I too read the thing. So you were
I
telling
was
that thing,
thought,
na? It is bordering West Bengal, Odisha, and somewhere nearby that area. So yeah, that's really good. So, 3 times rice.
All right. Okay, fine. Should I pass on to Indrajeet?
Yeah,
So
sure.
hello.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah. So thank you for giving this chance. So I am Indrajeet Kumar, and I basically I come from Sahibanj district of Jharkhand, and right now I'm posted in Uttar Pradesh in Barabanki. So like I applied for Jharkhand itself, but my application I got an email that your application has been forwarded for UP location. So do you want to accept it? So I just accepted that because that time I didn't have any other opportunity. so so I'll first explain about my district from where I come. It's Sahibganj. So Sahibganj is just located in the Tri-Junction area, you can say. It is bordered with Bihar and West Bengal. So in the eastern side, we have West Bengal. That is just 30 kilometers away from Sahibganj. And in the western side, we have Bihar border. That is also 30 kilometers away from Sahibganj. So main southern area. So and Sahibganj, you will see in the southern side, we have actually this northern side we have Ganga river following. So Ganga follows from only Sahibganj district in Jharkhand, and then it again enters to West Bengal. And then on the like southern side we have the Rajmahal Hills, chain of Rajmahal Hills, and it is said that it has existed before the time of dinosaurs, so it's still there.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is about my district, and since it is close to Bhagalpur district of West Bihar, so we have a silk production unit in Sahibganj also. In Sahibganj, we have a Resham Nagar where the artisans produces this Tasar silk and this you will see Matka silk and all. So mainly Tasar and Matka silk that is cultivated there, and also they prepare the yarn and clothes of that. Then West Bengal ka like Malda district is the bordering district from Sahibganj, and Bangladesh is also so near. Like it's like 180 kilometers from Sahibganj to Rajshahi district of Bangladesh. So earlier when I was kid, so that time this visa was not that harsh. So we used to go to Bangladesh also when I used to visit. Like my mother is Bengali, I already said. So she is from Malda district, and my father is Bihari. He is from Munger district of Bihar. So but we are living now in Jharkhand. So when I used to visit my mother's place, so we used to go to Bangladesh many times. In Rajshahi, we have some of our relatives staying there, so we used to go. So, but now the border has been closed and all due to infiltration and other things. So now we're not able to go. So that is about my Sahibanj district, and like it's obviously it's close to Darjeeling also, Darjeeling of West Bengal. Now coming to Barabanki, Barabanki is quite good area. When I came here, it's because it's located close to Lucknow. So the closest district to Lucknow is Barabanki. It takes me around 30 minutes to reach to Lucknow Charbagh station from here. So where I stay. So usually every Saturday, Sunday, I go to Lucknow and spend my time there itself. And speciality of Barabanki is the textile production. So there is a handloom textile units, that is the ODOP also of the district. So there is a lot of textile unit, small textile units, handloom. Actually, it's through that. It's not power loom. We don't have any power loom. It's all about the hand. They prepare through the handloom and all. And that is the second thing that you will see here is the Parijat tree that is only available in Barabanki. Like that is actually what the people say here. That tree was brought by Arjun for his mother Kunti, who was worshipping Shiva, so she needed that flower, so he went to heaven, and from there he brought that tree. So like these people say, and they say that it's not available anywhere else in the world. So, but I don't know whether it actually exists or not, but that is what it's told here. So that's what I know. And so yeah, this is about the Barabanki district. And like when I shifted here, so the major problem that I faced was regarding non-veg food, because yeah, so like whenever I was searching for house, so people used to ask me from where you are, so I used to say Jharkhand. तो then you अच्छा झारखंड उधर के लोग तो नॉनवेज बहुत खाते हैं, तो नहीं हमारे घर में नॉनवेज अलाउड नहीं है, तो finally I had to compromise, and now whenever I use, so that's why every Saturday Sunday I go to Lucknow just for eating nonveg there.
लखनवी चिकन फेमस है, दोनों ही फेमस है।
वो हाँ चौक एरिया है ना लखनऊ का, वेयर इमामबाड़ा का जो ये, so their street food is so good, and all are non-veg street foods and all, they are so tasty.
लखनऊ की वो भी बहुत अच्छी है, हबीबगंज का जो एरिया है, आई थिंक हबीबगंज ही है ना, एक जगह और विजिट कीजिए,
हबीबगंज है।
लिट्टी बहुत अच्छी मिलती है।
लिट्टी इधर मिलता है, बट I don't have like good image about the litti that is available here, because the Bihar side the litti, बिहार में जो लिट्टी मिलता है ना, that is like special, वो बिहार का, that is really some fantastic taste that I don't find the taste here, so I don't prefer eating that litti.
I was told इंडिया में दो ही जगह पे निहारी तो पता होगा, तो दो ही जगह पे, इधर हैदराबाद और लखनऊ, they are the best places to have nihari, so okay.
So yeah, it is there in वही चौक में, like they sell एक shop है, I forget the name, so I had their nihari, so it was tasty. Okay, there is like we have gulabi chai and all, ये सब कुछ famous है, gulabi chai they sell and all stuffs are there. And second, Barabanki is like famous for opium production, so largest opium production in UP comes from Barabanki itself. And here when I visited the village area, so like we have in the mindset ki village mein people are poor and all, so they need more development ka concept be there. So when we go to rural areas, all the farmers are rich here, because they like the three time rotational crop that they produce. And also when their field is like when you don't plant anything, that time they will sow this mentha leaves, so like mentha oil is also produced in a large quantity here. So like that they are able to make a good money. And then certainly those who are producing opium, so they are super rich here. So once you might have heard in the news also, it came that a person from Barabanki, he went to purchase this chopper for himself, and with a bag full of money. So then again, so he was not allowed to purchase it, but actually he went, so he was from Barabanki, and he has a field in which he like produces this opium and all. So
you
that
have
is
a chance of having a Breaking Bad in India as well, probably Barabanki.
So yeah, we have that. It is regulated through, we have opium koti, afim koti. So it is regulated by that afim koti. So they actually they give the license to the farmers, and those who get the license, they are only allowed to produce that. So mostly like 60 to 70% is just they convert it to posto. Posto is something that is here, so it is like they produce opium, but I am not able to find posto dana here in the market. Like sometime like in some food material and all, we put posto there. In Bengali culture, you will see that posto is usually used in food. So
yeah, that's part of actually garam masala, matlab that it is very important.
Posto dana, yeah. And actually that fish made of posto is so tasty, so that is
mustard sauce, mustard is there, and posta dana is there, all those things are to be put up.
Yeah.
So most of, I think सबसे बड़ी जो मंडी है ना उसकी, I think MP में नीमच जो एरिया है ना, वहां से ओपीएम काफी ज्यादा होता है, तो वहां से फिर काफी तक आता है.
ओके, तो नहीं जैसे कि बाराबांकी में तो हमको लगा कि यहाँ पे ओपीएम होता है, तो हमको पोस्तो तो मतलब मार्केट में मिल जाएगा, लेकिन हम लाइक आई वेंट टू सेवरल मतलब शॉपकीपर्स, आई वेंट टू दिस ग्रोसरी शॉप्स एंड ऑल, बट आई वाज नॉट एबल टू फाइंड इट. यहाँ हाँ, यहाँ पे 2-3 मॉल्स भी हैं, फूड मॉल्स, सो वहां पे भी नहीं था ओपीएम, मतलब सॉरी ओपीएम नहीं, वो पोस्तो नहीं था. So यही है बाराबांकी, एंड या इट्स
इंद्रजीत
आपको पंजाब जाना पड़ेगा, वहां तो ट्रक वाले भी दे देंगे।
पंजाब में मिल जाएगा। सो वैसे बाराबांकी में 3 चीज ही है, लाइक मेंथा, ओपियम एंड आपका वो पारिजात ट्री एंड टेक्सटाइल यूनिट यहाँ का, हैंडलूम टेक्सटाइल।
मेरे पास बिजनेस प्लान है यार, आपके यहाँ टेक्सटाइल तगड़ा बनता है, मेरे यहाँ यार्न बनता है, सारा मैं आपके यहाँ भिजवा देता
हाँ,
हूँ।
आता है उधर से, लाइक यान जो है वो उधर से ही आता है, मतलब वेस्टर्न एरिया से ही आता है, वेस्टर्न इंडिया से ही आता है यूजुअली। दे लाइक इंपोर्टेड फ्रॉम दोज एरियाज, और फिर बाकी फिर यहाँ पे प्रोड्यूस करते हैं वो लोग। एंड फिर ये लोग, मतलब इनका मार्केट कनेक्ट इज सो गुड, लाइक दे एक्सपोर्ट देयर प्रोडक्ट टू मिडिल ईस्ट कंट्रीज। दैट स्टॉल दैट यू हैव सीन पीपल पुटिंग दैट स्टॉल, वो स्टॉल इधर बाराबंकी में ही बनता है। देन दे एक्सपोर्ट इट टू यूरोपियन कंट्रीज एंड other Muslim countries where people use that stole. So they have a very good like supply chain and all. तो इसलिए like when I came to Barabanki, whenever I used to think कि ये करना है वो करेंगे, तो when I used to go to the field to see the opportunity where I can do that, then मतलब मिलता था कि वो already exist कर रहा है, तो जितना भी ideas मेरे पास आया, so everything I found it's existed in the field there, so मेरे कुछ मिला ही रहा है
बट ये
करने के लिए।
पोस्तो दाना का जो मार्केट रिसर्च करा है ना, ये सप्लाई डिमांड का गैप इसने निकाल के रखा है।
बट एक्चुअली उसका डिमांड बंगाल साइड में ज्यादा है, तो यहाँ पे वो लोग, यहाँ पे डिमांड है भी नहीं, लाइक पोस्तो लोगों को पता नहीं है। पहले तो बहुत से दुकान वाले पोस्तो क्या होता है, तो उनका रिएक्शन यही रहता था।
हमारे यहाँ उसको पोस्ता दाना बोलते हैं। और जानते हैं मतलब, जैसे मतलब मेरे मौसा जी थे, एक बार ये स्टोरी बता रहे थे, कोई किसान था उनके आजू बाजू में ही, कॉलीफ्लावर उगाता था, मतलब ट्रक के ट्रक वो बाहर भेजता था, लेकिन उसको खुद को नहीं मालूम कि इसकी सब्जी कैसे बनाई जाती है। तो मतलब वही है कि उनको एक बार आइडिया लग गया कि ये इसका मार्केट में दाम मिलता है, तो गाँव और बेचो, क्या करना है, कैसे बनाते हैं कैसे नहीं बनाते। पंजाब में देख लीजिए, वहां खाने को रोटी बोलते हैं और उगाते सबसे ज्यादा चावल वहीं से है।
करेक्ट। तो यही है। और बेसिकली साहेबगंज जो था मेरा, तो वहां से थोड़ा सा हमको यहाँ पे एडजस्ट होने में, लाइक आई took time to adjust in the district actually समझने में हमको 1 साल लग गया। And if I would have, I think if I would have been in my hometown, तो वहाँ पे ज्यादा कुछ हम कर सकते थे, because we already know what is there, what is not there, what can be done. यहाँ 1 साल निकल गया समझने में ये डिस्ट्रिक्ट, and then again तो फिर कुछ रहा ही नहीं।
Now we realize, I mean, I think Prakash as well, like if we were IAS or some other government officials, उनको कितना टफ जाता है, constantly they are moving across the country, वहाँ पे जाके posting करो, then you sort of start realizing how challenging it must be to acclimatize first, then try to understand the work culture, उसके बाद में वहाँ पे जाके काम करो। So yeah, this is amazing.
Yes, yeah, that is the real challenge.
Yeah. So finally, Rugwed, we have the same academic mentor. तब से we hit it off really well from IIM, and yeah, okay.
Yeah, hi guys. I'm basically from Satara in Maharashtra. You must have heard about Mahabaleshwar.
Yeah.
So Mahabaleshwar is in Satara district only. वहाँ का strawberries famous है. It's a famous hill station. But Saturday Sunday कभी मत जाना, अभी बहुत ज़्यादा भीड़ हो गई है.
Hey, we had Satara fellow. Can talk about your district now.
No. But I would like to start off with my district. So Satara में, and one more thing in Satara का कि you have 7 mountains surrounding it. That's why it is called Sat Tara. So लेकिन 10th 12th में जब भी मतलब हम पढ़ाई करते थे और बहुत ज्यादा फ्रस्ट्रेशन बिल्डअप हो गया, गाड़ी निकालो घाट पे निकल लो, तो कोई भी मतलब रात शाम में सब वही घाट पे पड़े रहेंगे, बस बैठे हैं सुकून में बैठे हैं और कुछ नहीं, लाइक सुकून। और उसके बाद फिर कमिंग टू माय डिस्ट्रिक्ट वेयर आई एम पोस्टेड, इट्स इन अकोला। तो सातारा जो पड़ता है दैट्स इन वेस्टर्न महाराष्ट्र, अकोला जो है सेंट्रल और ईस्टर्न महाराष्ट्र की ऑलमोस्ट उधर आता है। So that's in the Vidarbha region of Maharashtra basically. Akola is basically hottest district of Maharashtra as well. And I guess India का भी hottest है. Temperature here goes around to, last year it had soared to 47 degrees. अभी भी 45-46 चल रहा है पूरा इस वीक में। और ऊपर से गवर्नमेंट ऑफिस में बैठता है, so there is only a पंखा जो चल रहा है ऊपर. There is no cooler, there is no AC. Like दोपहर को 3 बजने के बाद सिर दुखना है तो दुखना ही है अभी, because सातारा is such a district कि अभी वहाँ पे 37-38 चल रहा है, तो लोग की बहुत गर्मी पड़ रही है, एंड आई एम लाइक कि 45-46 जा रहा है यहाँ पे। आई हैव ग्रोन इन दैट काइंड ऑफ टेम्परेचर। अकोला का बाकी अगर बोला जाए तो अकोला में इज फेमस फॉर कॉटन, सोयाबीन, तूर इस एरिया में बहुत उगाया जाता है, कॉटन, सोयाबीन, तूर। बट सरप्राइजिंगली कॉटन होके भी देयर आर नॉट मेनी टेक्सटाइल मिल्स हियर. देयर इज ओनली वन टेक्सटाइल मिल, यश कॉटन. सो व्हाट दे डू इज कंप्लीट कॉटन टू क्लॉथ का उसने इकोसिस्टम बनाया. देयर इज ओनली वन सिंगल मिल लाइक दैट. तो वो एक यहाँ पे एक काफी बड़ा गैप है जिसमें कॉटन टू क्लॉथ में काफी अभी मतलब प्रपोजल्स भी चल रहे हैं. वी हैव लाइक टाइड अप जो खादी व ग्राम उद्योग KVIB जो है उनसे भी हैव टाइड अप की कॉटन टू क्लॉथ का वहाँ पे जो वुमेन रहेंगे 200 वुमेन को आइडेंटिफाई करके उनके थ्रू वहाँ प्रोडक्शन चालू कराने का. बाकी अकोला में देयर इज अ काटेपुरना सैंक्चुरी हियर. मैं मतलब बहुत ये करके गया था कि वो देयर से सैंक्चुरी सो वी शुड विजिट एंड ऑल. मैं विजिट करके गया मतलब अंदर वो अपनी गाड़ी से जा सकते. मैं बोला मतलब सफारी वगैरह रहेगा कुछ, अपनी गाड़ी लेके जा सकते हैं. अंदर गया कि अरे कुछ तो दिख जाएगा बट देयर वाज नथिंग. फिर आके मैंने बाहर आके मेरा रिसर्च किया. काटेपुरना इज अराउंड 49th और 50th प्लेस है उसका इन द टोटल लिस्ट ऑफ नेशनल पार्क्स एंड सैंक्चुरीज अराउंड इंडिया. तो वो एक बहुत बड़ा मतलब एक मेरे को ये चीज लगा कि सैंक्चुरी का इतना बड़ा प्लेस है. देयर इज अ इकोसिस्टम वहां पे. एक तो अंदर इंडस्ट्री नहीं एस्टेब्लिश करके क्योंकि वो सैंक्चुरी का उसको ऑलरेडी डेफिनेशन मिल गया है एंड स्टिल उसका टूरिज्म में कन्वर्जन नहीं हो रहा है. तो वो गैप मेरे को लगता है काफी जगह बाहर भी होगा. वो एक बहुत बड़ा गैप मेरे को यहाँ पे दिखता है. एंड सेकंड इंडस्ट्री का अगर बात करोगे तो वन मेन थिंग दैट द इंडस्ट्रीज हियर फेस इज कि पानी का दिक्कत बहुत होता है. दैट्स व्हाई मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स इफ द वाटर इज लेस और द रेनफॉल इज लेस देन इन दैट सब्सिक्वेंट ईयर इंडस्ट्री को बस उनका वाटर रिक्वायरमेंट से 10% वाटर इज ओनली प्रोवाइडेड टू देम and they have to work completely in that 10% water itself. So there are restrictions in the type of industries that can be established here. As in auto and ancillary industry establish करने में यहाँ पे बहुत दिक्कत है. Auto ancillary का एक बड़ा पार्ट ये है कि ऑटो के अराउंड काफी सारे इंडस्ट्रीज बिल्ड होते हैं. सो देयर इज अ ह्यूज स्कोप फॉर एम्प्लॉयमेंट वहाँ पे. तो दैट्स अबाउट अकोला. बट एक चीज यहाँ पे बहुत पॉजिटिव है कि द एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव इकोसिस्टम इज वेरी पॉजिटिव हियर. Like even right from the IS and CEO are तो very active in my district. बट उसने लेकर के जो MSRLM की टीम है, उमेद की टीम है, माविम की टीम है एंड मेनली एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट की भी जो टीम है. सो दे आर वेरी एक्टिव इन दैट. तो ये बेसिकली अकोला का स्टोरी है. इंडस्ट्रियल लाइक इंडस्ट्री शायद अभी आके अगले 1-2 साल में कुछ एस्टेब्लिश डिस्ट्रिक्ट स्ट्रेटेजिक प्लान जो बन रहा है महाराष्ट्र में लाइक कीपिंग इन माइंड कि 2047 तक वी हैव टू बी $5 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी इन महाराष्ट्र. बेसिकली महाराष्ट्र का जाना चाहिए उतना. तो उस हिसाब से थोड़ा बहुत एफर्ट्स चल रहा है. Other than that, I am a mechanical engineer by profession.
Start OPM
2.5 years. देखना पड़ेगा स्कोप यहाँ पे.
5 ट्रिलियन अकोला का बन जाएगा.
बट मैं अभी जस्ट मैं रिसेंटली कसोल जाके आया हूँ अप्रैल में. सो देखते वहां से कोई मार्केट लिंकेज बन जाए यहाँ पे. अदर देन दैट आई एम अ मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर. जैसे तो मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग के बाद मैंने 2.5 years MP में निकाला. I guess प्रकाश, you are from MP जबलपुर ना. So MP में मैंने निकाला था. वहाँ पे इरिगेशन प्रोजेक्ट्स में था, वाटर रिसोर्सेज डिपार्टमेंट के प्रोजेक्ट्स में. तो MP वाज ऐसा बहुत ही ज्यादा दूर था तो घर कभी 2 महीने में एक बार जाते थे. तो आई यूज दैट टाइम पूरा एक्सप्लोर करने में. प्लस वहाँ पे प्राइवेट में थे तो पूरा निचोड़ा जाता था काम के लिए. बट उसके साथ एक बेनिफिट ये था कि घर न्यू अराउंड यू लर्निंग सम न्यू थिंग्स एंड एक्सपोजर काफी मिला. और गवर्नमेंट लाइसेंसिंग में वगैरह में था. सबसे मैं आई वाज फॉर्चुनेट इनफ कि आई हैड दैट काइंड ऑफ मैनेजर हु वाज वेरी ओपन कि उसने मेरे को लीड दिया एंड ड्यू टू दैट आई वाज एबल टू ट्रांजिशन इनटू काफी सारे 3-4 जगह पे मैं काम कर पाया MP में. और आई वुड हैव बीन रिस्ट्रिक्टेड टू अ सिंगल प्लेस. इसलिए फिर वहां से मैंने सोचा कि अभी तो इनिशियल स्टेजेस में 2 साल से ऊपर कहीं नहीं निकालना है. क्योंकि इफ यू वुड हैव आल्सो सीन 2 साल में क्या है, फर्स्ट ईयर में एक समझने में तो जाता है वो चीज वगैरह बट स्टैग्नेशन भी आ जाता है आफ्टर दैट फर्स्ट ईयर. आई डोंट नो हाउ. कहीं भी प्राइवेट में भी मेरे को ये फेस हुआ, MGNF में भी फेसिंग इट. So उसके बाद then जो next 1 year होता है where you are supposed to like bring in new things and because now you have understood the ecosystem and all that, but maybe due to that stagnation थोड़ा सा mindset कभी-कभी affect हो जाता है. Yes, you bring in new thought process. Yes, you bring in some innovative things, but implementation regard से थोड़ा लगता है कि you have seen the ecosystem how it works and you know the loopholes. इसकी वजह से कभी-कभी वो backlash आ जाता है कि should I even propose it? I know कि I am going to put my energy into it and maybe I will try to take it to the end, but it is not going to be implemented because I am not the leader here. I am just here to propose new things and bring some innovative ideas. And lastly, like voluntary, I actually am a part of the organizing committee of motorsport event, alternate vehicle event. So while in college, I was a participant in that. Like almost 200 से 300 colleges उसमें participate करते हैं. There is a 25 member का team हर college का. We have to completely right from designing, manufacturing, like welding वगैरह से लेके पूरा काम, and then finally participating in the competition, the testing of the vehicle. पूरा हम कॉलेज में ही करते हैं. We are not allowed to take any professional help from outside. We just have to refer the books and then we have to like build that vehicle. तो 2 साल मैंने पार्टिसिपेट किया being a mechanical engineer through my college. उसके बाद I moved on to alumni committee and now उसके organizing committee में हूँ. तो वो इवेंट होता है हर साल इंदौर में होता है. इंदौर में इंजन वाले व्हीकल्स का होता है. इंदौर में there is a NATRAX, National Automotive Testing Facility. That is the largest testing facility for automobiles in Asia. Actually वहां पे वो इवेंट होता है. एंड द सेकंड इवेंट इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स का रहता है कंप्लीटली, वो चंडीगढ़ में होता है. एंड दिस ईयर एक्चुअली वी आर मूविंग टू ऑटोनॉमस बाहर, दैट इज अ ड्राइवरलेस व्हीकल. एंड देन सेकंड इज हाइड्रोजन बाहर. तो इसमें ट्रांजिशन हो रहा है. सो दैट इज माय कनेक्ट विद मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग, क्योंकि इंजीनियरिंग मैंने शिद्दत से किया था. तो थोड़ा सा वो टेक्निकल कनेक्ट जो मिस होता है MGNF में, वो मेरे को वहां जाके गैदर होता है. लाइक ऑफिस से आने के बाद उसके जो मीटिंग्स वगैरह होते हैं, तो वहां पे वो थोड़ा टेक्निकल कनेक्ट गैदर होता है. लाइक दिव्यांशु, आई गेस यू हैड मेंशन्ड कि आई डोंट नो वेदर आई एम अ सोशल सेक्टर प्रोफेशनल येट, यू मे मूव बैक टू लीगल. सो वैसा है मेरा. आई डोंट नो कि क्योंकि आई वाज नॉट नेवर यूपीएससी एस्पिरेंट आल्सो. जब फेलोशिप का अपॉर्चुनिटी आया तो आई वाज लाइक ठीक है, गवर्नमेंट एक्सपोजर का कभी लाइफ में होने नहीं वाला, जाना ही नहीं है उधर. तो लेट्स गेट इनटू दैट. एटलीस्ट वी विल गेट टू नो द इकोसिस्टम, कनेक्ट्स बनेगा एंड कुछ तो लाइक नया सीखेंगे ही. लाइक नॉलेज डजंट गो टू वेस्ट. एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम एक्चुअली आई वाज लुकिंग फॉर MBA, इसलिए वो IIM बैंगलोर का वेबसाइट वगैरह सर्च कर रहा था, तो वो MGNF का अपॉर्चुनिटी एंड ऑल. एंड ठीक है, या मतलब 1.5 साल में देयर आर बीन टू मच अप्स एंड डाउन्स. बट हमारा जो कोहोर्ट है IIM नागपुर का, वो बहुत छोटा कोहोर्ट है. लाइक देयर आर 36 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स ऑफ महाराष्ट्र, 4 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स ऑफ सिक्किम. एंड फिर नेट अभी जो फेलोज बचे आफ्टर सम रेजिग्नेशन का 35 है. सो वी आर वेरी क्लोज विद ईच अदर. सो एटलीस्ट 35 फ्रेंड्स हमने गैदर किए हैं. एंड इट इज वेरी ओवरवेलमिंग, राइट? अभी हम यहाँ पे बैठे भी है, वी आर फ्रॉम डिफरेंट डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स ऑफ इंडिया. बट अभी मैं जस्ट रिसेंटली हिमाचल गया था अप्रैल में. सो वहां पे धर्मशाला का जो फेलो है, वहां से हमने यहाँ से मतलब कांटेक्ट करके ही हैड लाइक गिवन उसके फ्रेंड का विला मनाली में रहने के लिए एंड ऑल. एंड वहां पे फिर धर्मशाला भी उसने पूरा घुमाया था उसी के गाड़ी में. सो इतना मतलब इजीली कनेक्ट हो जाता है फेलो के साथ कि वी आर लाइक गोइंग इन द सेम बोट अभी. तो वो चीज है. सो या नाइस मीटिंग यू. देखते हैं कहा जाता है कॉन्वर्सेशन बाकी. या
Sure.
तो एड ऑन टू व्हाट रुग्वेद इज सेइंग, मेरे को ऐसा फिर भी सबका वो सुन के मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है कि अगर हम अपने अपने डिस्ट्रिक्ट में MGNF स्टोर खोलते हैं ना, तो हमारा हर ODOP का एक हमारा बढ़िया एक सप्लाई चेन, एक डीमार्ट का और या फिर एक बढ़िया सुपर सप्लाई चेन बना सकते हैं सिर्फ MGNF कोहोर्ट के नाम पे.
यस यस यस, काफी सारी चीजें. जैसे अपन ने तो बीच में जब फीफा चल रहा था, तो फुटबॉल फैन जो है MGNF में, दे हैड अ सेपरेट ग्रुप. उसी के तरह लाइक बीच में MP का जो कोहोर्ट है, दे वर लाइक रिसर्चिंग ऑन. इसमें क्या है, महाराष्ट्र में देयर आर डिस्ट्रिक्ट स्किल डेवलपमेंट ऑफिसेस इन एवरी डिस्ट्रिक्ट. तो यहाँ पे एक स्ट्रक्चर है ऑलरेडी. हर एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट में 8 to 10 ऑफिशियल्स आर देयर ऑलरेडी इन द ऑफिसेस. तो एक स्ट्रक्चर है. तो MP के फेलोज वर रिसर्चिंग ऑन दैट. सो उनके थ्रू एक इंटरेक्शन हुआ. तो काफी सारी चीजें मतलब इंटरसेक्शंस किए जा सकते हैं. आई गेस कि ये पंचायत तो इट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ इट, जो कि ऑन रिकॉर्ड एंड ऑल जाएगा. बट अदर देन दैट अनऑफिशियली आई गेस वी शुड कनेक्ट विद ईच अदर. कुछ भी कर लो, बट देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ स्कोप फॉर अस टू बी एंटरप्रेन्योर्स. लाइक
Just
इतना ऑलरेडी है.
सजेशन जस्ट एक चीज, एक्चुअली IIM अहमदाबाद में जब हमारा AM4 हो रहा था ना, वहाँ लाइवलीहुड एग्जीबिशन हुआ था. तो वहाँ पे हर बंदे ने ऑलमोस्ट हर एक अपने अपने डिस्ट्रिक्ट से कुछ कुछ यूनिक सा लेकर के आए थे. मणिपुर वाले जितने भी मतलब पर्सन थे, एक कॉमन चीज तो उन्होंने अपने अपने डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेकर आए थे. साथ साथ ब्लैक राइस की उन्होंने खीर सबको खिलाई थी. यार वो बहुत यम थी, लिटरली बहुत यम थी. नागालैंड जब मैं गया था मतलब, तो भी मैंने वो खीर खाई थी. दैट वाज मतलब ऑसम. नागालैंड में हालांकि वो होता नहीं, वो होता मणिपुर में ही है पर्टिकुलरली. बट चूंकि दीमापुर और कोहिमा आजू बाजू के डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स हैं, तो थोड़ा बहुत चीजें आती हैं. तो दैट कैन बी रियली गुड थिंग. मतलब एक्चुअली जो दिव्यांशु बोल रहे थे, मतलब कि हाँ, हम लगा सकते हैं एक बार के लिए सप्लाई चेन क्रिएट कर सकते हैं पूरा तगड़ा वाला.
Prakash, you should start a food blog, I think.
Which one?
Yeah,
Food blog.
Prakash should
You
start a
start
food blog.
All
you
6
gave
of
a
us
very
probably, all 6 of us should probably collaborate and start a food channel only. After
Already
Yeah, the
there
way
is no
you
India-wide-
explained, the way you explained the food delicacies was
Yeah.
very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, yeah. Actually, I tried to start one of the unique fruits series on Instagram, but problem was there after a certain point, I too could not continue that. I marked 5-10 unique fruits from Dadra and Nagar Haveli, which I didn't had at my place. So although people from Telangana and all those area had seen that, I never had this thing. Yeah, matlab, tendu patta is there, so its fruit is quite like chiku. So I don't know how many of you have ever seen it. Okay, you had it. Like I never had it. I had it for the first time over here. It was yum, literally yum, yaar. Matlab, it can replace chiku if it can be very well marketed and all those things. So yeah, that is the thing. Another fruit they call it as jamun, but that is not jamun wala jamun. That is quite different thing. Matlab, I will someday show you all photos. I don't have it right now, but I will definitely show it.
Photos nahi, Prakash. We will send you our addresses after this session. So please send us sample. हम खा के ते बताएंगे.
Sure.
Yes.
बट प्रॉब्लम जानते हैं क्या है, जैसे देखिए कैशिव नट फ्रूट भी इस एरिया में खूब मिलता है, लेकिन जब तक पहुंचेगा तो वो खराब हो जाएगा. वो कैशिव नट फ्रूट तो ऐसा है, आपने हाथ में लिया नहीं कि खराब पिघलना चालू, मतलब घुलना चालू. तो वो भी मैंने यहाँ पे एक बार ट्राई किया था. गोवा की फेनी तो फेमस है ही, यहाँ पे भी इस एरिया में भी काफी होता है.
बट उसके साथ हमारे टिकट बुक कर दो डीएनए जाने के लिए.
यस बिल्कुल आओ ब्रो, कसम से बोल रहा हूँ, पक्का घुमाऊंगा.
All right. So next part we'll start talking about the work that we have done so far, or probably what we are going to do in the remaining journey of MGNF, starting with Keerthi.
Yeah. So this one, like, I think I'm pretty sure everyone would have worked in the everyone what you say, apprenticeship melas, job fairs. So I think that is all common. So I think everyone has worked in that sphere as well. So, but there's this one interesting project I had worked on. So this coincidentally, this one of the sub collectors, he was actually my college senior. So I had a good rapport with him. Yeah, so I bonded with him. I had a very good professional relationship with him, and also, and since he was my college senior, so there was this extra understanding of issues at ground level. So he assigned me on a project. So he asked me to work on a project where to involve the destitute widows in the district. So these are some of the most this community is one of the most I don't know about the other state. I'm pretty sure in Tamil Nadu. And especially in tier 3 cities in Tamil Nadu. So these are these district widows, they are actually ostracized by their community as well. So they don't get much opportunities, and they are actually shunned by their own relatives and communities as such. So I worked on this project on his on his request. So what I did was I conducted I conducted a case study, a kind of research case study. So I did a focus group discussion with, so I gathered this from the nearest district social welfare office. So I got a list of did a list of district widows in the district. So I interviewed them. I had a focus group discussion with them. And in the end, I also compiled all these responses into a report and I submitted to the sub collector. But unfortunately, the sub collector got transferred. So then then I realized that okay, this work. I didn't want to give up on this. So I went to the district social welfare office. I submitted my report to them, and then from that list, we identified a set of beneficiaries who really wanted to get themselves trained in some kind of a skilling activity. So we identified some women, and we also enrolled them in the short-term courses under PMKVY. And yeah, so I would say that this was a very challenging project for me, and this is something which is very close to my line of work, because like this is I got to understood the ground reality where even in today's time there are such being a widow and being a destitute is it's really difficult. Like they don't get the opportunities they should be getting. I mean they are not getting the opportunities, that they are not aware of it. So this is some kind of a work which I really enjoy doing it. So This is one of my most challenging work. So this was a
Something
nice
I can
opportunity.
recall on similar lines. So in my district, there had been a lot of farmer suicides or during the drought period in Maharashtra. Along with that, there were COVID victims. So people had died during COVID. Unke family ke widows. So what we were trying to do is introduce them to some courses. So I personally conducted a survey across Latur. And then, so I had telephonic conversations with so many of them. So there was this one particular lady. She, in very like desperate way, she had called me like, please sir, mera kara do, because I had called her. She had only given her interest and all. That was the end of conversation back in October, November 2022. She called me 2, 3, 4 times, and then finally, I think March, a couple of months ago, she was actually assigned because there was no courses at that period being offered. But then she still waited for it. So that's something that really touched me.
Yeah, so this is, these are all instances where, when people are calling you and letting you know that so there's this sense of satisfaction, that okay,
Right.
so I did something in my district. Someone was, someone really got benefited out of it.
Even if one
That is
person,
where
that incremental thing that you feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. Yeah.
So that was a very livid experience. So I enjoyed doing that, and I'm glad that some of them really got benefited out of it, and yeah. So this has been this was one personal work which was very close to my heart. Yeah.
All right, cool. Next, I would pass on to Divyanshu.
As in projects, I have worked on a lot of them. Being associated with the Aspiration District program, and when I initially joined, my DDC, the Deputy Development Commissioner, who is the #2 guy in terms of, he's an after district magistrate or the DC, as many places you call him. DDC is the #2 guy in the district in terms of developmental work. So for magistrates, you have ADM, but so he's generally an IS ranked officer. So he has already worked with Niti Aayog fellow in his previous posting. So he had an experience with working fellow. So the moment I joined, he gave me a room of his. सामने वाला रूम मेरे को दे दिया. It's like कि आप बैठो यहाँ. He gave me ample time to settle down. District में काफी अच्छा welcome करा उन्होंने. They provided circuit house and at the point of joining itself. So the moment, and somehow his image of me stuck in his mind as a Niti Aayog fellow. So every time I used to be MSD Niti Aayog, it used to come out as a Niti Aayog. But nevertheless, he took me in. He actually mentored me in a very guardian kind of figure. He took me in, he nurtured me, and he started taking me in meetings. So, and then he put me in Niti Aayog work aspiration district program. So इसमें क्या होता है कि once you do well in the rankings, delta rankings, you get some funds allocated for which you have to send proposals for the district. So हमारे पास the year I joined 2021 November, कुछ funds थे which we had to send by March. So March तक पे I worked on 3 projects then and there. One of the projects that I was closely associated, it was his brainchild, but then I did all the research and the documentation part. But it was his idea which I got to work on. So it was हमारे यहाँ community sanitation centers होते हैं. So in order to achieve ODF status, toilets are being constructed in every house, but in places which is predominantly of landless people, वहाँ community sanitation के concepts हैं. So these are very backward regions, landless people, primarily from SC/ST communities. तो उनका क्या होता है कि once they have been constructed, उसका maintenance नहीं हो पाता, उसका OM नहीं हो पाता. तो what was the district magistrates, the DDC, and all the officials who used to go on visits, they came up with this idea. Let's make a small attachment to it, एक छोटा सा hut बना दो उसके साथ, and give that as a rent free or a ₹1 rent to people from that community who will run it as a shop. उसको एक rent free shop दे दिया, and then he will be made responsible for maintaining the CSC. वो उसका साफ सफाई करेगा, बिजली है या नहीं, वो पानी है या नहीं, जो मोटर लगा है या जो टंकी लगी है वो चोरी तो नहीं हो जा रहा है. So he would be made responsible in lieu of rent free. And my district magistrates and all the top officials, उसमें फिर हम थोड़ा ना attachment करते चले गए. हमारे यहाँ NRLM का प्रोजेक्ट कर रही है जीविका, तो हमने थोड़ा सा उसमें सैनिटरी पैड्स की अवेलेबिलिटी को एक सप्लाई चेन देने की कोशिश की, बिकॉज SHGs वी आर मेकिंग सैनिटरी पैड्स. तो वी वर लाइक कि इसको एक मार्केट दो, जो लोकली मेड सैनिटरी पैड्स है उसको हमने अटैच करा. बट द मोमेंट इट गॉस, तो एक सोशल टैबू होता है सैनिटरी पैड्स के डिस्पोजल्स को लेकर के. उसको चेक करने के लिए वन ऑफ द ऑफिशियल एंड मतलब टीम में ये हुआ कि वहां पे एक इंसिनरेटर्स इंस्टॉल करते हैं. फिर सोलर पैनल्स गॉट इंस्टॉल्ड. तो ये बिल्कुल मेरे आते ही मैंने इस प्रोजेक्ट पे काम किया, वर्कड ऑन द रिसर्च, द डिजाइनिंग एंड ड्राफ्टिंग एंड ऑल. सो बट एट दिस पॉइंट these huts are ready, these huts are being made operational, वो allocate किए जा रहे हैं in phases. And when I get to see reports from those ना, it is very satisfying कि someone from in the very deep pockets of the district is to make a livelihood out from it. तो वो एक प्रोजेक्ट काफी रहा है क्लोज. देन आई हैव वर्कड विद एजुकेशन, मतलब वो सब नीति आयोग के अंदर ही प्रोजेक्ट्स पे, फिर एजुकेशन के प्रोजेक्ट्स पे काम करा है, जहाँ पे बाला पेंटिंग्स हमने प्रपोज करा था. बाला इज बिल्डिंग एज लर्निंग एड्स. So what they do is they paint the walls and the ceilings of the schools learning tools. So they will paint it 1, 2, 3, 4, k, kh, g, g, and they're class-wise designed. So the teachers will come and ask, "Where is one? Who touches number 1 first?" So the class will go, the boys will run towards number 1. So buildings are being, तो उस वाले painting projects पे add करा. Then a senior official from Niti Aayog came for visit. तो उनके visit के साथ हम मुझे भी ये मिला, because again it was in deep pockets. और कुछ district headquarters से कुछ दूरी था, तो I was not able to visit them on my own. तो जब इनका visit हुआ तो I visited, and it was very satisfying again कि हाँ interior parts में भी ऐसा कुछ बन रहा है. फिर this time for this financial year I had a budget of 8 crores. So different departments gave their rough drafts, or they were asked to consult with me and make. We have few ideas. Like we are one of the biggest producers of maize in the country, maize. But sadly there is no processing plant, or there is no mechanization in the district. So how they dry the maize is they put it on roads, on national highways and everything. So this was not only a slow process. If untimely rain happens, a lot of produce gets lost. This was also a menace in terms of road accident. So the bike or the car used to skids on these maize grains. So my district magistrate had the then district magistrate had this idea of somehow address this problem. We came up with the idea of having mobile maize dryers. So and so this time we had the agriculture department made this project. I worked on it, all the and this time these procurements are now in process, and which will be handed over to FPOs. The FPOs will be given this. We will be strengthening these FPOs also. You should make these mobile, and these are mobile in nature, so they can go. So wherever the idea is, wherever you see these maize being dried on the roads, you put it there and you dry it up. You dry the maize then and there, give it to the farmer, and you move to the next location.
Wait, what I wanted to know is, like, what was the traditional method of maize drying? Because road to baad mein aaya.
No, they will put it in fields now.
Okay.
Sun drying. Sun drying is the idea.
Exactly. Right.
So earlier they used to put it in fields. Yeah, wherever they get a flat surface, they will put it there.
Surface, yeah.
So road I mentioned because then people started putting on roads, and these bikers and cars are skidding off. That's why I mentioned roads. And then this time there were 8 projects this year. This March, I was in Empowered Committee. We defended as a district we of 8 crores rupees. One project, 2 projects that particularly directly corresponds to skill is, one was strengthening of the RCT. So the RCT, which is being run by the lead bank in the district, did not have ample number of computers. So when you do not have computers, students, the computer based courses were not even being able to taken up. So we had this project passed from the Niti Aayog again. We will provide computers and all in our city. Then we are trying, as IIM Visakhapatnam has proposed to set up district skill hubs in the district. So they have their one component there in the IIMV is IIM fields, which look into the new project areas or the field work. So this vertical of the IIMV has proposed to take up these kind of setting up of district skill hubs that we have been able to get through from the Niti Aayog. The fund is coming from there. This was supposed to come from MSD. The proposal was sent not from my district, but there was, if you guys remember, there was initially in February 2022, we had to send a proposal for 2 crores for aspirational districts. Later, and for later point of time, they were also made available to LWE and border districts. So it was meant to be supposed there, but I did not send it there because I sent 4 different projects in partnership with engineering college. We also have a very ample amount of production of banana in the district. So after the production of banana, the of banana is thrown, but banana silk, the fibers of the banana is useful if you way. So there was this project that was sent. The EV based project was also sent for the ITI. So if you said projects worked around 14, 15 projects that I've closely worked on. 2 to 3, 4 projects, 100% of coming, rest of them being initially designed by someone and then working on it. As a Niti Aayog team, we were able to achieve rank 1 in Delta ranking last year. So that gave funds to us. These projects that have been coming this time, my target is successfully setting up this district lab, which now stands past. But since it is a very new thing, even officials, it takes a lot of time to explain it to them what exactly it is going to do. How does a incubation center works? So
I am also currently engaged in
this is my
incubation center. Yeah. So I know. Yeah.
So that is going one project that I will like to see come reach it. But one thing that I'm very thankful that my district magistrate and my DDC, who's also my mentor, the last one and even the current one, have really took me in, mentored me. By working it at some point of time, it also got informal, and it was they were guardian figures, and even as informal as you could be with a guardian figure, I was given that much of liberty. So yeah, I'm very thankful to them.
Next, Prakash.
Yeah, so I was listening to previous experiences very carefully, and no doubt the work on this thing, widows and destitute women, and then this thing like RCT strengthening is quite unique. My experience with RCT is somewhat a bit opposite, because they are like they have some centralized operating unit in Bangalore. So there was some ruckus, but one thing I still got to remember suddenly, that when I visited RCT, at that time the RCT head was there and his son was sitting over there. He gave me a book and he asked me, Prakash, just read it and go through it so that you understand what RCT is, at least little bit about background, so that you are familiar with that. I went and suddenly I met his son, who was sitting in that place and doing something on perhaps his own laptop. So I just started chit-chatting things with him, and he told me later on that he was working on irrigation project. He was in class 6th or 7th, I cannot recall exact class, but he was designing one irrigation project using sensors. He had already built one website for his mother. His mother was a yoga teacher, so he made that website for her. And another thing, he was working on something I cannot recall exactly, but I was amused to see 6th or 7th class kid. And then I went to meet my mentor suddenly, within 2 or 3 days for some other task, like I wanted to do some intervention at school level, college level. And suddenly my mentor was like, Prakash, see, there are very much huge limitation to what these students can achieve. So at that time, when I quoted this example to him, ki, sir, you see, when we are saying that 6th, 7th student, how can we teach them coding and all those? Then what is the difference between this child and that child? He suddenly was stuck. Then he said, Prakash, you should come to meetings, because sometimes what happens, system becomes too much negative and rigid in its structure, because we have so many deadlines and all those things. So whenever someone outside us comes now, so he can give a fresher perspective to look at the things differently. Because see, obviously the thing is very questionable, because what is the difference between a bank manager's child and a driver's child? Both are going to school at the end. No doubt, one is going to government school, another one is going to private school. Still, there is some difference. There must be some difference which we are not able to facilitate. So he asked me that. So yeah, after that mentor changed, and my new mentor was very much data oriented. So he asked me to work on data and figure out things. He clearly said, Prakash, whatever you do, whatever you say, you should have some data backing. And skill mechanism, just like few moments back, I think from Maharashtra, our friend was saying that Maharashtra already has very well developed structure, like district skill officer is there, and even in MP there is relatively a bit structure is there. But in Dadra Nagar Haveli, I found that that is not that is quite like ad hoc mechanism. So he clearly said, Prakash, work on data. Whenever you see anything, so I started with this thing, youth aspiration survey. It is not just youth aspiration. I also extended it by trying to judge what is the distance they live from ITI, what are the problems. When I joined this district, one of the person, actually not the principal sir, not my DOs, because they are super helpful and super positive persons, but one of the person came to me and he said, Prakash, you don't know these big students, they are simply skipping the hostel, they are going outside, working in hotels at the night just for some drink and food and all those, chicken and all those things. When I was doing this youth aspiration survey, I suddenly realized it is not their something like luxurious thing. It is like their family do not have money. They have excess burden of their siblings at the home, and they are carrying dual responsibility. First thing, they have to study and find a job for themselves. Second thing, they have to take care of their families at the backside. Third thing, they do not have any proper guidance. So I tried to merge those things. Like, I asked them, do you want to go for government jobs? They wanted to, but the thing is, they do not know. Literally, they don't know. Very few students told me that they had applied for Agniveer scheme. Then others didn't even know that these PSUs can hire me, and this is the process. Most of them are coming after 12 and they cannot cope up with the theory subjects. So all these things are there. So what I found that in sociology we have two concepts. One is Maslow's hierarchy of need, in which first thing is like you have to be in physiological need. First you have to satisfy your basic needs like food, shelter, and all those. Then you need to be safe. Once you are safe and once you have food in your belly, then you will start dreaming. Then you will start seeking love, right? And at the end, you will reach that self-actualization. So we cannot expect a person who is still stuck in survival mode to do something really good or dream something big, like I will build this, that, whatever, this, that. So that was one of the major problem which I found that is quite weird over here. That sometimes bureaucratic apathy towards them, because they too have their own perspective, they too have their own life. Perhaps they never thought it from their perspective. So that happened actually. So that is one thing which I found, that many students are very poor from that thing, and there is missing culture of excellence. So this is another concept. Suppose an IAS officer or our parents, whenever they will come to our home, they will ask us, what you read, Prakash. I still remember my father. Sometimes he will also beat me. Prakash, give me some, and then simply, if I won't be able, he will simply scold me very badly, right? So there's somewhere a culture of excellence. He nurtured me, guided me, taught me since the beginning. But here, if you talk about these students, their parents are either industrial laborers or construction laborers. So they are constantly in survival mode, and they are continuously not able to come out of that. So that is one of the major things. When I was doing alumni interviews, so that was also a task given to us. I hope all of us have done it, right? And 7 to 8 alumni we have to interview. So yeah, I was working with them, and 2-3 alumni I met from 1980s. That was very early phase of ITI. So ITI was not at all popular at that time, very new institution. So the major task was to fill the numbers. So in that task, obviously they were not doing anything illegal or anything bad, but thing was, whosoever wants to get a degree, they will come and take admission. They will take admission. So at that time, Dadra and Nagar Haveli was just starting in its industrious journey. Industries were coming in, so newer people were coming in. They will do work in the evening shift, and in the morning shift, they will study at ITI. So nowadays, they had industry connect, they learned a skill. You won't believe they are running workshop. Single-handedly, they are running workshop worth 40 lakh, more than 40 lakh a year. So that aspiration I missed in these students, and how I can take them to that height. So I was just going through data and doing all those crunching. So I have devised, I have almost completed this aspiration survey for ITIs. Now I am thinking of expanding and at how, although I have got one very good idea about ITI, how it can be done better. Another thing, see, one of the major things, maybe you might have noticed or might not have noticed. I noticed it because, see, ITIs are highly in demand because every industry has to take 2.5% apprentices. That is mandatory, right? And so if you will see, most of the informal labor they hire from local area. From local area means most of the industries, be it any place, they will rarely hire anyone local, because there are political constraints, there are social constraints. Like, suppose I am from Jabalpur, my native is Gorakhpur, Jabalpur, whatever. My relatives live in Jabalpur. So someday someone's baby will be born, someday someone will die, someday my friend will be calling, I will be simply taking leaves, going away. I will have political clouds. So industries are very averse in hiring locals. But during Corona period, these industries were forced, and at that time they experimented by hiring local women. So when they hired local women, they found that they can work at par with an immigrant labor. Why? Because, see, these women are for the first time going inside in the industry, they are getting economic freedom. Plus, women have a tendency to be relatively more sincere. Whatever work they will take, they will do it relatively more sincerely as compared to male, who has more social, outward-looking things, drinking habits, and all those things, right? In general, I am saying, so industries really like that, and now industries are saying that if you can provide us with more women in these trades, it will be better. But problem is that these trades are sort of reserved for boys. Whereas there are some trades like sieving technology. Why only girls should go over there? Why can't a boy take up that course? Why can't a girl be a fitter or electrician trade? So there is some sort of pink colorization which we see often. So that is another phenomena which I am noticing. So yeah, I am very soon going to file up a report on all those observations and things.
It's always really inspiring when someone tries to go against the trend. Because in our city, when I was trying to collect success stories for did we have that form we had submitted, star alumni from our district, right? So in our city, usually like spice processing technician, मतलब पापड़ मसाला कैसे बनाना है, all entire class of women, there was just one guy, okay, only one man who had taken admission. He started with the entire female strength, and he started his business, and now currently he is exporting to other districts as well. So that's something I find really remarkable, his journey.
No doubt, that's so true. Yeah. But my experience with RCT trainees right now is most of the SHGs which trained over there, are shut down right now because of market linkages, except for few who had that guts to go ahead. Yeah, please, Divyanshu, you were saying something.
नहीं, I have a similar experience. ये starting line वाले जब भर रहे थे ना, तो for the sake of putting one from the our city, I put one, and to find one, I had to do all kind of research. And that one lady, what is the success story? She is now running a store. She was hand to mouth. Now she is running a kirana store, and that is not because of the. I'll be very frank. She is successful in running that store is not because of the RCT training, but that support that she has received from Jivika, the NRLM thing that is going on. As part of the SHG, she's got supported from Jivika, and then and only she's being able to run a shop, a kirana shop, and a very deep pocket. So this is kind of surprising that you train people and then there is one success story.
Actually, same thing when I went to CEO Jilla Panchayat over here. The first meeting when I took, he told me very clearly, see Prakash, we are training lots and lots of SHG in hard skills, but there is hardly any market linkage, there is hardly any backward linkage. They have training to at least 30-40 women regarding mushroom growing. Mushroom is also another ODOP over here, and they mostly grow oyster mushroom over here, oyster mushroom. So that goes very costly if you can dry that and process that very well. But thing is, only one lady from Daman has successfully implemented it. She has started her own enterprise and she is doing literally very fine, very great. She can supply you in, like, if you can do a good contract with her, she can even supply hundreds of kgs. But rest all have closed down. Almost all have closed down. So he told me clearly, Prakash, if you want to skill, make sure that you start from backward till the forward linkage. Don't just focus on the skilling aspect. So that take care we have to take. Here our city is luckily working with NRLM only. Yeah, please go ahead.
No, your experience only. Then I about to pass it to Indrajeet.
Yeah, please.
And before Indrajeet, I totally forgot to mention, I also conducted a skill survey. And my previous DDC asked me to do that, and I had a sample now as of today. I have a sample size of around 3,400 people.
Wow.
So we were able to conduct this survey camp in each block of the district. And during this camp, this happened in February 2022. So right after 3-4 months of joining. So it was in that time only I got to visit around 50% of the blocks of the district. And it was very enlightening. It was not enlightening, but kind of an eye opener. The background that we come from, the urban people, I'm totally urban people getting educated from a DAV or a missionary school or some. So when you go and you actually see what the term actually hand to mouth means, when you get to see it, and not one person or 2% or 3%, the entire villages or an entire settlement of the area. So it is kind of an eye opener and very humbling effect.
Yeah,
it
humbling
has
experience.
Yeah.
True that. Because I traveled across, so like I previously mentioned, the farm suicide. So I went to their homes, given that their contact details were not available. So I had to go searching for their homes. So every village I roamed around, and then I found, the conditions they were living in. So the need they tried to place, skilling course nahi chahiye, this is what we want. So the way they were able to still assert despite having this loss. So that's something really touching for me. Then should I pass on to now Indrajeet?
Yeah, so for me in the district, like when I report to the district, so still different for different officials. I am different. They consider me in a different way. For some, I am a IIM researcher. For some, I am a student from IIM. For some, I am a fellow. So they don't know what fellowship is. So they say it's like an internship. Someone has came for internship. For my mentor, I am like a researcher from IIM, and also someone like she thinks me as I am doing means I have to do some research kind of thing, a training kind of thing.
It's
so to
always
whoever she
contrasting,
introduced
okay.
me, yeah. So she says everyone ki
when you go to IIM, they think we are Sarkari officer. When we go to our Sarkari office, they think we are IIM the student. Then there is no
so yeah.
Identity crisis, no?
Yeah, and what happens?
There is a bipolar thing. There is a bipolar thing. We are going through a multipolar kind of identity crisis.
Yeah, that's what in the district I said. Now, like my district for different people, I'm different things. Some think like I'm a trainee. So whenever my CDO ma'am introduces to anyone, so she will say he's a trainee. So consider him as a trainee. So sometimes she will say he's a researcher. So for district industry chamber, I am a researcher, and certain in this way. So at least when I came here, so at least I am happy that after this 1.5 year, at least I have learned a lot of things, how to work with the district administration, how to actually work in this government type of setup, public-private partnership kind of thing. So maybe in fellowship, I am not able to contribute that much because it was my first time experience, because just after completing my master's, I joined this fellowship. I think I had a gap of only 1 or 2 months, and then I had joined this fellowship. So I don't have any work experience earlier. So it was good, but because without any experience when I came here, so I have got a lot of experience now. So this is the thing. And for my work, whatever I have done in the district, so I already said whatever idea I was thinking about, so it was already done in the district. So I have a lot of things to say, how many ideas came to me when I pitched it. So first I started with intern apprenticeship. So earlier there was a lot of hype for apprenticeship promotion in the district. So Barabanki is a industrial area. There's a lot of industry. We have 5 major large industries, and there are more than 3,000 medium and micro enterprises. And there is a 3 large industrial area and 3 mini industrial area. So there is a lot of industry. We have a sugar mill as well. We have Reliance working here. We have Organic India working here. We have Coca-Cola working here. So I thought I can just do a MOU between the government ITI and these companies for accepting this apprenticeship, and also for this like placement purpose. So if government idea has a MOU with this industry, every year they will be placing this many number of students in their companies. So when I went with this proposal, so my CDO ma'am liked it. So you talk to the industries and also. So that was the first time when she connected me with the DIC office. So then DIC wala asked with me about my role, and also they came to a conclusion that I'm a researcher. So they started talking to me in that way. So then again, they gave me the contact number of all the companies. So before that, I thought to first talk with the government ITI's principals and all. So when I went to them, they said, "What you are doing? It's already done. We have a lot of MOUs with Reliance. We have MOU with for apprenticeship. We are sending apprenticeship regularly. We are also sending on student for on OGT and all." So that was first thing it went. So I don't have to do anything. It's already there. Then it came to ODOP. So I just saw a few ODOP units. So they were working at individual level. So that they didn't have a good market connect. So I just assumed that is pura ODOP ke semi condition hoga. So that was basically my wrong assumption. So I thought I can do something in the supply chain. So they have because that small units whom I visited, so they were supplying their products in the local markets and in Indian states as well. So I thought we can take it to international level. So that was the first time when I thought like that stall with they were manufacturing. So that is usually culturally connected with Islam, where people wear that scarf kind of thing in the Middle East country and all.
Right.
So that time I thought we can do it something for foreign level, and how we can do that. So like I had one of my friend who was in Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. So I thought I can take some help with him and we can do something in that. So when again I went for that ODOP. So then I came to know they already have a good suppliers who are supplying their product to Middle East, to Indonesia, and to other countries. So it's already there. Chain is there. So okay, so this is also done. Then I thought okay, then we saw they were complaining ki हमारे पास design जो we use that purana traditional design in ODOP. So we need some new design. So I thought so this is something we can do. So we can have some MOU with NIFT, because again in NIFT also I have one of my friends. So I thought I can take help and we can have some collaboration between the ODOP cell and the NIFT. So when I went with this proposal to my CDO, then again she sent me to the DIC office. So when I went to DIC office, then Shivani ma'am, who is the DIC officer. So she said, "Acha, Indrajeet, we already have in talk with NIFT, and we are going to have them on board in district." So then again, she showed me all the forms and all. So these are the person whom we are talking about and all. So then again, that was done. Then I came, I thought about the mobile lab. So it was about skill training and all. So I thought if in village level, we labs are not there. So if we have a mobile lab van kind of thing, because we have a lot of industry, we can get some CSR fund. And if we find out some organization who are ready to set up their mobile van which can travel to different parts of the district in the rural areas and all, in the rural schools, primary schools and all. So this was the thing. So again, I went with this idea to his video ma'am. She again said, yeah, it's a good idea, you work on this. Then actually she's supportive. So every whichever thing I go, and she says me, yeah, you go, it's good idea. And like how I am clueless, she is also clueless. He was there actually existing or not. So mobile lab ka thing. I went, so I wrote to many NGOs like Augusta Foundation, Magic Bus and all. Ki if you are ready for collaboration, then I got a mail from Augusta Foundation. They were ready to work here. So they said that they sent me the proposal and all. So I saw the proposal. Then I started reaching to other industries for support and all. Through CSR, anybody is ready to fund and all. Then I went to Balram Sugar Mill. So after approaching 4 or 5 industries, then again I went to Balram Sugar Mill. So he said, "Ki we have already funded one skill van. It's there in your district. You don't know. So it's there." And that turned out to be of Augusta Foundation itself. The person who talked to me from Augusta Foundation, he was from different project, and that skill van was being run by some other person of different project. So it was same Augusta Foundation working there. So we came to know kids skill lab is there. Then again I thought ki okay, so that's okay. Then I thought कि अच्छा government ITIs में जो है कि lab में labs are not that means it has some machines required to be updated. Because they already have good machines. Okay, so it was means sophisticated machines. So but there were some machines which required to be updated. So I thought okay, we can talk to some industries again for their CSR connect means the CSR money and connect it with the government ITI. So again, I came to know ki already Webco and Reliance were funding the that computer and entire IT lab they were developing in the government ITI. So that was done. So I have a list of things like that. So there are a lot of things for SSG. Then again, coming to SSG market linkages. Okay, so I thought okay, I can do something online marketing wala partner ki like Amazon and listing them in Flipkart, not because they're producing good they are making soft toys, then some are making like brass ka thing they are making and all. So I think these are good thing, we can help them register their product. Then when I started approaching, so it's already there in Amazon available, in Flipkart it's available there. So already it has been done.
It will happen, you know, like Niti Aayog, some other ministers trying to introduce fellowship, and your district administrator, nahi, hamare paas already fellow hai.
So same thing. Then again, yeah. So I thought the sanitary pad was not there, manufacturing unit was not there in Barabanki.
Right.
So I thought, okay, so this is something we can, because I came to know about this sanitary pad was some fellows did it in their district. So I thought it's good idea. In Barabanki we don't have, so if SSGs women can produce that, it will be a good thing. So when I went to an island, then they said, yeah, we are going to open it after next month, maybe. We have already done this thing. So that was also already there. It was happening there in the district, and it has started now. That's sanitary pad. So again, I don't have any role in that because that was also being done. Then this Gaushala. So in UP, we see ki Gaushala ka development too much like focus is being given to Gaushala and all. So I thought, okay, so that's good. We can develop some ecosystem near Gaushala. Like we can have a pond kind of thing, then we can have biogas plants. So this way you can build an ecosystem depending on each other, and we can have a sustainable way of this cow sheds and all. So we thought this. So again, so about this thing, it was the first time when my CDO ma'am was aware about what's happening there. So when I went to ma'am this thing, so she said, okay, so we already it's a UP government plan, and we are working on developing this ecosystem in Gaushala. So it's already there in Indrajeet. So means we have a lot of plan for developing Gaushala. So biogas plant is already there. So what you will be working upon? We have a biogas plant. So ponds are also there. You can go and see if you can do something for the ponds and all. So again, when I visited 3 ponds, so they had a lot of water hyacinth. Okay, so I thought, okay, from water hyacinth we can produce something. So with that also, with that idea, I went to management. Okay, so that is good. You bring on board some women, and if it's possible, you bring some women who have lost their husband in COVID, or the widows who are below 35 years of age, and also we had a good plan for that. Okay, we'll do on what hyacinth and all. So when we went there for this water hyacinth wala part, so this was something that was not happening in the district water hyacinth. Then again, after a few days, like my madam said, no, we are actually in the this won't grow again. What happened? Because we are what to say that pond ka पुनर्जन्म जो करवाते हैं kind of thing. So
rejuvenation.
Rejuvenation of ponds and all. So now we'll be doing this fisheries and all. We'll be promoting this and that. So what I have seen is not going to grow anyway. So we will not have that much thing. So already we are going to clean the ponds and also. Okay, so that's also
Jal Shakti Mission का project है ये.
Yeah. तो ये सब हो गया. तो like vocational training भी स्कूल में चल रहा है. When I came to see कि I thought कि कुछ industries अगर CSR के through अगर कुछ vocational trainings के lab खोल देंगे primary school में, then I came to know कि already each company has taken one primary school under them. Who are like funding all the things of the primary school. So that is also actually there existing there. So again, I was not left with anything. So then finally after 1 year, so I came with some, I thought, okay, these are superficial things. इतना ज़्यादा हमको सोचना नहीं है. So lower level, I'll do something. Then I started with this TITP and SSW program of Japan government. So I started conducting workshops in different, there are total 29 private ITIs and engineering college including. So they are like private ITI, they say themselves. They are also giving training on BTech and diploma as well. Okay, so kind of that colleges we have here in Barabanki. So I started conducting this workshop with Akola Japanese Academy. So they have their it's a sending organization, NSDC certified sending organization. They have their branch in Gomti Nagar. So Gomti Nagar is close to Barabanki, like I think it's 10 kilometers away. So then I started conducting this workshop. So that is working well, fine. So we are conducting the workshop, and some students have also registered themselves with that organization. So let's see if I'm maybe because when I am in the district, I won't be able to see students going to Japan, but most because it's 8-month training. They undergo 8-month training. So after those 6 months, 5 months, we'll be leaving the district. But maybe after I go, we'll see some students going. Then another was about this in SWEP. Yeah, I worked well during this state assembly election. In SWEP, they sent me that Indrajeet, you make some posters or kind of thing. So I made some pretty good posters. If you, I can just show you some posters. Yeah, I can just share the screen.
You can.
So these were the types of posters that I used to make.
Very nice.
Yes, पुष्पा. यार पुष्पा तो वो वाली पुष्पा नहीं है अपनी, क्या नाम है अभी ये जो रिसेंट में
नहीं वो वाली
नहीं वो वाली नहीं, ये पुष्पा वाली so
राजेश खन्ना वाला
चलो कब से एकदम पहले से नहीं हुआ था, राइट? बाबू मोशा है, पुष्पा.
So ये सब basically ये वाला सबसे बढ़िया हमको like this quotation was something that I like.
क्या बात, सही है. इसका वॉइस ओवर भी करवाना चाहिए ना इंद्रजीत भाई से?
हाँ?
क्यों वेदांत?
Of course.
चलो भाई वेदांत भाई, चलिए वॉइस ओवर दीजिए.
Sorry, I'm not good in that actually. So yeah, so like in something in designing I can show you. Voice over me, I'm not that good. So yeah, so these are some posters. So there are so these were some posters.
It's really creative. Loved it.
Nice, very innovative actually.
So
I hope the water turnout was much more after seeing all this.
So
actually my district administration also liked. So the DM that time it was Adarsh sir. So right now he is a commissioner of Jhansi division, so he got transferred. But that time he was there, so he was very good person. So when he met me, he first time understood me. Means I went to meet him. DM said, "I am a fellow here posted. So then his reaction, okay, you are a fellow here. Then he was so welcoming and all. So he said, okay, you enjoy your life. 2 years of fellowship. मतलब क्या होता है? Life enjoy करो, ज़्यादा tension नहीं लेना है. See the things and all. We go to different places, different parts of India. Go visit those things. So no, we have to stay here and all. So means many more things which I can't say now in this video. So,
I know what you're going to say.
So actually, so that's so he liked that poster. So entire Barabanki was like these posters were there in entire Barabanki area. All the blocks, all the village panchayats and all everywhere he means.
Okay. I thought you were going to stick the posters, but you went there and the poster was already there. So.
No. It was not there. So, this was something that I did. So like he liked that posters. So he said, okay, so we will use this thing key in Barabanki. He was looking for some innovative thing for on the swap for awareness campaign. So my posters he used for the awareness campaign. So in the roads and also he put it as like selfie point and all.
Yeah,
okay.
That's nice.
Many posters are like I saw the only few. Like I made actually 18 posters, 18 to 19 posters I made. So those were circulated around Barabanki. So that was something which I did in this fellowship, which is not part of the fellowship, but I have done something. And then second is this TITP program of government of Japan. That is something I am doing. And lastly, I am doing the entrepreneurship training workshop. So that I am conducting myself, visiting to the rural areas with the women's and with the rural men as well, if they are interested. So I conduct this. It's a very good entrepreneurship training workshop in which you help people to actually find out the entrepreneurship that is hidden within them. So we have a lot of activities in that. It's a 2 hours activity. So even if you're the person is literate or illiterate, they can participate in this, and then it helps them to do the SWOT analysis of themselves. And then lately, slowly at the end of the workshop, you will come up with some ideas, entrepreneur ideas within. Means not all, I'll not say all the women, but you will get some good positive feedbacks. Okay, some will come, okay, I got this idea sir, हमको पता नहीं था, लेकिन अब हम इसमें हैं सर, हमको मतलब लगा कि हम ये कर सकते हैं, and I really want to do this. And also then I used to connect them with the NILM and or RCT. So whenever I go to conduct this workshop, so sometimes I also have some one accompanying me from RCT if someone is available. If not, then I go alone with the Gram Panchayat, that Panchayat Sachiv and all. So we conduct it. So we are trying to like this is thing what I am doing. So I thought small level में कुछ करते हैं, ज़्यादा बड़ा चीज. So it's already there in the Barabanki, nothing to do. So yeah, right. so this is all about.
All right. Finally, Rugwed.
Yeah, that was more of a stand-up comedy session as well from Indrajeet. Yeah, no, but great work. Like creativity लाना ही अपना काम है, because already a government system is there and we are foreign
agent in that.
Exactly. So yeah, and Divyanshu, before I forget, for banana thing, I'll connect you with the Jalgaon fellow of Maharashtra. He's like working very good in this banana stem के से जो products बन सकते हैं. And Indrajeet, for you that water hyacinth, we have a fellow from Chandrapur in Maharashtra who is working on weed to wealth thing basically. So you can connect with him if you can do something in water hyacinth, what he has been doing in Chandrapur. Okay. Other than that, in Akola, actually, basically in Maharashtra, we have already got a structure of skill development. As there are different government departments, we have a department called Department of Skill Development, Employment and Entrepreneurship in Maharashtra. Innovation. And now we also have innovation added to it. So now our district skill committee is not only district skill committee, it is district skills, employment, entrepreneurship and innovation committee. So
वो abbreviation मतलब CID बन जाता है उसका.
Exactly. So ये चीज है. So एक structure होने का one benefit is that कि जो state skill development mission है, they already have people on ground. So they like एक mass state level पे बहुत awareness हो जाता है. In the sense कैसे कि skill on wheels की बात हुई. तो skill on wheels के लिए they signed up a MOU with one body. With one NGO basically who has been working in skill development, and unka jo bus hai, so they stationed that bus in each of the district. Fellows were involved in deciding the locations for that, so that we can conduct awareness generation with regards to skill development in all the districts of Maharashtra. Second thing, we have a Maharashtra State Innovation Society, and actually amazingly it was started by CM fellows in Maharashtra. We had Chief Minister's Fellowship. So in 2018, some of the CM fellows came together and they started Maharashtra State Innovation Society. They proposed it to the department and it got accepted, and they are doing amazing work. They conduct the startup yatra every year almost, wherein we register the startups from the district. There a boot camp happens wherein the jury is within the district itself. The jury members are selected according to the type of projects basically the startups are putting forth, and then the jury is selected. So that happens every year, in which we fellows were involved. Second thing is the job fairs. So one thing is that as we fellows are in the system, whatever we are trying to do, we are not for sure, we don't know whether it is going to sustain for the long term. So one thing, because we are bringing in many new ideas, because we are also going in IIMs and are getting ideas from there. By interacting with each other, we get upon new, like light shade upon new ideas as well. So I guess one thing that we should do is we should develop some SOPs which should be followed even after we like leave the district or leave the system, so that at least they will have some structure to follow. So some of the fellows of Maharashtra, even Vedant is part of that team. We are working on a job fair survey currently we are conducting. So we are basically doing the research of the job fairs.
Trying to restructure the job fairs, because currently we found out that the actual placement numbers are very, very around 1 to 2% of the number that we claim for preliminary selections. The final selection are 1 or 2% of the so.
The main thing is that Prakash talked about the how there is a mismatch in the outcomes. Like how there is a policy like policy implementation में ही बहुत loopholes होता है. हम already IIM में भी बताते हैं कि any policy that fails in implementation is a bad policy. Policy देख के ऊपर से देख के लगता है कि it is a very good policy, but अगर implementation में full रहा है तो it is a bad policy. So to counter that problem with regards to employment fairs, we are doing that research. तो ऐसा आई गेस कि ऐसा कुछ होना चाहिए कि एज वी आर देयर इन ईच डिस्ट्रिक्ट, महाराष्ट्र के फेलोज है पूरे कनेक्टेड, हर स्टेट के फेलोज कनेक्टेड है. सो महाराष्ट्र में व्हाट वी आर ट्राइंग टू डू इन जॉब फेयर्स, वी कैन डू इट स्टेट वाइड. लाइक स्टेट वाइड एक कुछ नेटवर्क डेवलप करो, स्टेट वाइड लिंकेजेस डेवलप करो, बिकॉज ओनली देन इट इज गोइंग टू गो अहेड. अगर डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पे करेंगे, एज आई गेस कीर्ति वाज मेंशनिंग कि he mentioned a project to the sub collector, but that sub collector got changed and then he had to rush to other department for that implementation. तो अब अपन ने भी देखा होगा कि we tried to connect with each of the departments thanks to our NIMI assignments at the starting 3 to 4 months. तो 3 उसमें हमने समझ गया था कि who is the person that we should reach out to and who is going to help us in putting forth the project or like actually getting it implemented or something. अगर उसका ट्रांसफर हो जाता है, we have to start from scratch. So maybe those SOPs, if we formulate those and if they are a part of the system, maybe हम जाने के बाद भी there would be a sustainable ecosystem. जैसे प्रकाश आप स्टार्टिंग में बात कर रहे थे ट्राइबल की, वहां पे जो ट्राइबल सिस्टम है दादरा एंड नगर हवेली में, that is very equitarian. They are running a sustainable ecosystem even though they are tribal people. मतलब आपने बात करी म्यूजिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स की, you even talked about the food and all that is there. Like काफी सारी चीजें ऑलरेडी थी ट्राइबल पीपल. दारू की भी आपने बात की कि अल्कोहल बेसिकली अल्कोहल इज नॉट अ टैबू. So I actually see कि वो बहुत फॉरवर्ड लुकिंग है एक्चुअली. दो ट्राइबल पीपल आर वेरी फॉरवर्ड
उनके कल्चर का.
एग्जैक्टली. सो हम ज्यादातर अभी व्हाट वी आर सेइंग इज कि रूरल इंडिया को हम जिस लेंस से देखते हैं, हम रूरल इंडिया ये देखते ही नहीं है कि देयर इज ऑलरेडी अ सस्टेनेबल इकोसिस्टम गोइंग अराउंड. हाउ कैन वी स्ट्रेंथन दैट? वी ऑलवेज कम अप कि भाई मैं इनके लिए नया क्या लेके आऊं, rather than studying it and seeing कि वहां पे कहाँ कौन से पॉइंट पे स्ट्रेंथन करने की जरूरत है. इन देयर ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्ट एन इकोसिस्टम. बिकॉज हैंड होल्डिंग हम लाइफ टाइम के लिए नहीं कर सकते किसी भी चीज का. आरसीडी की हम बात कर रहे थे कि हैंड होल्डिंग नहीं होता है, इसलिए द एंटरप्रेन्योर्स डोंट कम फॉरवर्ड. सो हैंड होल्डिंग करना सबसे मेन थिंग है, एंड हैंड होल्डिंग तभी हो सकता है if they have some knowledge with regards to that particular subject that they are taking ahead or something. तो वो चीज एक बहुत जरूरी लगता है. प्लस अभी स्किल डेवलपमेंट में हम महाराष्ट्र में ऑलरेडी जैसे स्किल डेवलपमेंट हो रहा था ड्यू टू द स्ट्रक्चर दैट इज ऑलरेडी देयर. सो लाइक वी वर एबल टू चेक फॉर द लूप होल्स कि लूप होल्स क्या है. प्राइवेट ट्रेनिंग पार्टनर्स है तो उसकी लूप होल्स क्या है. सो व्हाट आई ट्राइड टू डू हियर वाज आई ट्राइड ऑनबोर्डिंग ऑफ द इंडस्ट्री एंड एजुकेशनल पार्टनर्स हियर. इंडस्ट्री इसलिए बिकॉज इंडस्ट्री में अगर हम जाते हैं तो ऑलरेडी 6-7 महीना का वो दे गिव द ट्रेनिंग बिफोर एक्चुअल जॉब स्टार्ट्स. सो वो जो प्रोबेशन पीरियड होता है उसमें ट्रेन, बिकॉज उनको पता है कि ये किताबी नॉलेज लेके आए मैकेनिकल सिविल इंजीनियर्स, इनको 6-7 महीना पढ़ाने के बाद ही दे विल गेट टू नो अंडरस्टैंड कि अभी किस में काम करना है, या टू ब्रश अप दैट. वो जो कंसेप्ट वहां पे पढ़े थे वो पेपर निकालने के लिए थे. मोस्ट ऑफ द कंसेप्ट डोंट स्टे विद अस. इसलिए फिर ऑनबोर्डिंग ऑफ इंडस्ट्री पार्टनर्स, तो हमने इधर क्या किया कि ग्रीन चैनल का एक कंसेप्ट है महाराष्ट्र में. So green channel से we are trying to onboard the VTPs because Skill India is a very long process. They have to invest those funds of 30,000 amounting to almost 30,000. Plus क्या है कि ट्रेनर का सर्टिफिकेट एफिलिएशन एंड ट्रेनिंग पार्टनर का ट्रेनिंग सेंटर का एफिलिएशन इज फॉर 1 year. ट्रेनिंग पार्टनर का भले 3 साल के लिए. इन दैट 1 year if he or she doesn't get any project, then वो पूरा एफिलिएशन जो है वो वेस्ट जाता है. तो रादर वी आर ट्राइंग टू ऑनबोर्ड इंडस्ट्री पार्टनर्स ताकि स्किलिंग उनके शॉप फ्लोर पे ही हो, लाइक सम काइंड ऑफ ओजेटी ऑन जॉब ट्रेनिंग बेसिकली. सो इंडस्ट्री पार्टनर्स के यहाँ पे वो स्किलिंग करेंगे. वहां पे वर्कशॉप में उनको एक व्हाट डू यू से रूरल इंडिया में अगर अपन देखेंगे तो दे डोंट हैव विजन की वहां पे जाके जो प्रोफेशनल लाइफ रहेगा इंडस्ट्री में या कॉर्पोरेट में वो कैसा रहेगा, दे डोंट परसीव इट. तो वो एक उनको ट्रेनिंग के समय ही समझ जाएगा पूरा. सो दैट वी हैव बीन ट्राइंग टू डू. इवन यहाँ पे जो एक डेयरी डेवलपमेंट ऑफिस के अंडर एक डेयरी है, सो दैट वाज बंद पड़ा था वो. So we gave a proposal ki you start that dairy at least for the skill training part. We'll bring on the trainers if there is any issue that you are facing. So there is already existing government infrastructure. Second, veterinary science का college है. So through them we are trying कि veterinary clinics में कुछ करना चाहिए. Dairy products processing already there are so many trainings running in every district. But sectoral growth goes unchecked. Like dairy product में RCT training दे रहा है. Dairy product में skill development department is giving training. Dairy product में Maving MSR उनके SHGs को training दे रहा है. But who is checking on that sectoral growth? कि सच में एक साल में इतना ट्रेनिंग दिया फॉर डेयरी प्रोडक्ट्स, इतने लोगों को ट्रेनिंग दिया. अभी आफ्टर दैट 1 year और आफ्टर 2 years जीडीपी में उस सेक्टर का कितना परसेंटेज ग्रोथ हुआ, दैट सेक्टरल ग्रोथ गोज कंप्लीटली अनचेक्ड. सो एंड अल्टीमेटली द फंड्स दैट वी आर यूजिंग फॉर स्किल ट्रेनिंग्स, those are taxpayers fund. So we have to give it a thought, or at least when we leave the system we have to put something in their mind that taxpayer money that you are using, that should at least be used in a thing which is outcome oriented. I was watching an Instagram reel जहाँ पे US के Senator Kennedy is there, so he was grilling the Deputy Secretary of Energy there कि you are telling me to spend $3 trillion of my money on reducing carbon emissions. Can you tell me how much Earth's temperature this is going to help me reduce? And he was not able to tell that. So basically outcome oriented. We are just thinking कि क्या कर सकते हैं, money पैसा है गवर्नमेंट का, that pool of money that we are having. दिव्यांशु जैसे बोला कि 8 CR का उसके पास फंड था, एंड ईच डिस्ट्रिक्ट हैज लाइक 300 CR का, अकोला जैसे डिस्ट्रिक्ट में 300 CR का डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्लानिंग ऑफिस हैज फंड्स, एंड 3 CR का फंड इज केप्ट इन ईच डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र स्पेसिफिकली फॉर स्किल ट्रेनिंग. सो फंड तो है, ट्रेनिंग तो देंगे हम, कोई उसमें प्रॉब्लम नहीं, बट आउटकम ओरिएंटेड वो विजन होना, दैट इज very very much essential. And I think usme if we guys are able to do something, then we will leave some good mark there. And yeah,
one thing that I remember from your district, it was a goat bank का concept that I really liked.
Yeah. So goat bank का concept basically ये था कि goat farming तो होता ही है maximum जगह पे. गोट बैंक को उन्होंने ऐसा डेवलप किया था कि देयर इज अ सिटी हियर इन अकोट इज अ सिटी हियर बेसिकली, इन दैट वन पर्सन हैज स्टार्टेड गोट बैंक्स मतलब कि एनीवन हु इज इंटरेस्टेड इन गोट फार्मिंग दे कैन टेक अ पर्टिकुलर, मतलब गोट का एक अच्छे से ब्रीडिंग होने के बाद 3-4 months का जब वो हो जाता है, सो ही और शी कैन टेक दैट गोट, ही कैन यूज दैट गोट बेसिकली टू like what you can say establish goat farming वहां पे एज एन MSME में भी. सो उसके बाद जब वो अच्छे से एस्टेब्लिश करेगा, व्हेन ही विल हैव मोर गोट्स थ्रू दैट, तो उसमें से उसको 2 गोट जो है वो लौटाने हैं इन फंड टू दैट गोट बैंक, and that model then runs apart, and that has actually been very successful अकोट के अराउंड एक इकोसिस्टम डेवलप करने में गोट फार्मिंग का. RCT is not, RCT ने बहुत ट्रेनिंग दिया, बट RCT ट्रेनिंग देता है, दे हैव द टारगेट्स, दे fulfill the targets, बट वही हैंड होल्डिंग कहीं ना कहीं मिसिंग है. आई हैड आस्क्ड देम कि आप हैंड होल्डिंग करते हो, बट वो कितने लेवल तक करते हो? सो वो दे सेड कि या 1 year तक हम हैंड होल्डिंग वगैरह करते हैं, बट मैं बोला आप इंस्पेक्शन पे वगैरह जाते हो? बोले नो, दैट इज एक्चुअली नॉट मैंडेटरी ऑस्टर. एंड मैंने 1-2 एक्चुअली इंस्पेक्शन पे मैं खुद गया था, तो गोट फार्मिंग के फंड से उसने उसका घर का छत बांध दिया था अच्छे से बढ़िया एकदम. तो वो मतलब बहुत ज्यादा मिसमैच. मॉनिटरिंग बेसिकली, मॉनिटरिंग इज द थिंग दैट डजंट हैपन इन मोस्ट ऑफ द पॉलिसीज दैट आर बीइंग इम्प्लीमेंटेड. तो वो एक चीज है. MSMEs, एंड वन ऑफ द थिंग इज कि आई सी कि MSMEs का ग्रोथ जो है वो ऐसे कोई भी MSME सामने नहीं आ रही कि हु इज becoming a giant in at least 10 years or so. We don't want it to be it is simply not possible to become giant in 3 to 5 years. But 10 years में भी ऐसे startups और IT sector वगैरह अगर छोड़ देते हैं, अगर हम आते हैं primary agriculture and allied पे, even though there is much scope, like Akola जैसे district में there are 70% people working in agriculture, but GDP पे उसका count देखोगे तो बहुत कम है gross district domestic product पे. तो MSMEs का अगर हम SHGs देखते हैं कि SHGs को funds provide किया जाता है कि you can establish something. PMFME से भी वो लोन ले सकते हैं एंड कुछ फूड प्रोसेसिंग में वगैरह स्टार्टअप डाल सकते हैं. तो MSMEs कैसे बढ़ाए जाए, एंड अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर में ऑलरेडी बहुत काम चल रहा है, लाइक फॉर नॉनवेज ईटिंग पीपल, जहाँ पे अभी नॉनवेज के शॉप्स में कितना भीड़ रहता है डेली बेसिस पे, बट दैट इज अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर एंड वो तो तुम्हारे इनकम में रिफ्लेक्ट होता ही नहीं है. ऐसा कई सारा चीज है, लाइक डब्बा वाला मोस्टली, जैसे बाहर अगर लोग रहते हैं तो हम डब्बा वगैरह लेते हैं मेस से, तो वो मेस भी कहीं रजिस्टर्ड या ये नहीं है. सो अगर ये पूरा MSMEs में इफ यू आर एबल टू कन्वर्ट दिस अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर में काम करने वाले लोग टू MSMEs, देन वो ग्रोथ कैप्चर हो जाएगा एंड मे बी वी विल हैव प्रॉपर आउटलुक, जिससे कि वो आगे का डिसीजन लिया जा सकता है विद रिगार्ड्स टू द विजन एंड मिशन ऑफ द डिस्ट्रिक्ट इन टर्म्स ऑफ सोशियो इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ, while not hampering the currently existing ecosystem. ऐसे ऊपर से बर्डन डाल के नहीं कि हाँ ये करो तो तुम्हारा ये होगा. See what they really want. Like I guess Divyanshu or someone told कि COVID widows के लिए you got a chance to roam around the districts, जिसकी वजह से 50% ब्लॉक्स कवर करने के बाद you understood कि उनके क्या इश्यूज है. Like हम जॉब फेयर के सर्वे के लिए भी what we are doing is we are collecting the data online, ताकि हमें डेटा मिलने के बाद we have some set of data जिस पे हम रिसर्च कर सकते हैं. तो उससे मैंने आई वाज एनालाइजिंग कि अकोला में 7 तालुकाज है एंड फ्रॉम अदर तालुकाज एक्सेप्ट अकोला, ये बाकी 6 तालुकाज से ओनली 200 में से हार्डली 10 to 15 लोग आते हैं. एंड मैं तेल्हारा करके एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट है विच इज ओनली 40 to 50 किलोमीटर्स फ्रॉम अकोला. आई वेंट देयर विद माय बाइक. आई राइड द बाइक यूजुअली एट द स्पीड ऑफ 80 to 90 अकोला के इंटरनल रोड्स पे भी. तो वहां पे एटलीस्ट मतलब मैं 1 घंटे में मैक्सिमम पहुंचना चाहिए था, बट इट टुक मी 2 hours देयर. And I'm saying कि वहाँ पे बसेस नहीं है तो रोड इज बहुत खराब है, and those are the reasons why the people are not able to come for this centralized job fair that we are doing. So decentralization का नीड बहुत ज्यादा है. लाइक रोड्स में भी अगर आप देखोगे डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्लानिंग ऑफिस के फंड जो खर्चा हो रहा है, सो मोस्ट ऑफ द रोड जो अच्छे हैं वही रोड्स बार बार बन रहे हैं ड्यू टू सम रीजंस दैट वी ऑलरेडी नो बीइंग इन द इकोसिस्टम. सो यहाँ पे जहाँ पे खर्चा होना चाहिए, सो दैट वो कनेक्टिविटी से इतना इशू सॉल्व हो सकता है कि दोज पीपल would be able to come here and reap the benefits that Akola urban is having basically for the. तो ये चीज है. Let's see, like बहुत चीजें हैं, but I guess एक स्टेट वाइड अगर एक स्टेट के फेलोज या जहाँ पे डिस्ट्रिक्ट ज्यादा है वहाँ पे एक रीजन के फेलोज एटलीस्ट वो अगर वो 5-6 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में वगैरह मिल के अगर कुछ प्लान कर सकते हैं, आई थिंक दैट विल सस्टेन लॉन्गर देन द थिंग दैट वी आर डूइंग इन अ पर्टिकुलर डिस्ट्रिक्ट. तो वो चीज है.
एक्चुअली डेयरिंग का जो आप बोल रहे थे ना, डेयरिंग और कनेक्टिविटी, ये 2 चीजें तो हमारे यहाँ पे भी बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है. जैसे दादरा नगर हवेली में आपका वेस्टर्न घाट आता है, मतलब वेस्टर्न घाट का एरिया लगता है. इट इज वेरी ब्यूटीफुल प्लेस, नो डाउट. और मतलब एटलीस्ट बारिश के टाइम पे, सर गर्मियों में तो नहीं बोलूंगा मैं, बट बारिश के टाइम में और विंटर के टाइम पे जो ब्यूटी है दैट इज वेरी ऑसम. क्योंकि एक छोटी सी नदी बहती है दमन गंगा, तो वो भी ओवरफ्लो करती है, प्लस एक डैम है और पूरा बहुत प्यारा सीन है, टेंट हाउसेस हैं. बट थिंग इज वहां तक जाना ही अपने आप में टफ है अगर आपके पास कार ना हो, अपनी बाइक ना हो तो. मतलब मेरे पेरेंट्स आए थे, आई वांटेड देम टू विजिट दैट प्लेस, बट नहीं हो पाया. क्यों? क्योंकि मुझे पता चला 1 किलोमीटर पहले उतार देते हैं, फिर उसके बाद 1 या 2 किलोमीटर पहले उतार दे, उसके बाद पैदल जाना पड़ेगा, फिर उसके बाद जा करके देखना रहना, वो सब दिक्कतें हैं मतलब. और डेयरिंग सेक्टर का तो बड़ा विचित्र केस हुआ था. एक्चुअली हमारे यहाँ पे 2 मतलब ट्रेनिंग सेंटर है, एक फार्मर ट्रेनिंग सेंटर है, एक डेयरी डेवलपमेंट एंड ट्रेनिंग सेंटर कुछ करके नाम है. पोल्ट्री का भी साथ में है, पोल्ट्री और डेयरिंग का. एक्चुअली मैं मिलने गया था तो फिर यहाँ के वेटनरी ऑफिसर थे, मतलब तो उन्होंने मुझे बताया था, इंचार्ज थे उस समय, उन्होंंने बताया था प्रकाश सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम ये है ना कि हम लोग यहाँ पे एक इंडिजिनस ब्रीड होती है जो A2 मिल्क कहते हैं ना, जो मोदी जी ने एक बीच में बहुत ज्यादा प्रचार करने की कोशिश की थी. इंडिजिनस ब्रीड जो A2 मिल्क होता है, उसकी गीर गाय की ब्रीड फ्री में दे दी जाती थी, पहले फ्री में दी जाती थी. और साथ साथ पोल्ट्री के लिए भी फ्री में 25 चिक्स और 4 या 5 मेल है जो कॉक जिस कहते हैं ना, जो मेल चिक्स वो दिए जाते थे, ताकि वो एक अपने आप में सस्टेनेबल इकोसिस्टम खड़ा कर सके. प्रॉब्लम क्या होती थी कि ट्राइबल्स लेकर के जाएंगे, 2 महीना 3 महीना 4 महीना मस्त उसको दुहेंगे. दुहने की टेक्निक जो मतलब मिल्किंग की टेक्निक है, that is faulty. Due to that those cow will get this mastitis disease, and eventually their milk production will go down, and eventually those cows will end up on the road. So problem is also in perceiving. These tribal people think that since they were born with these cows, they have lived with these cows, they have been milking them since the childhood, so they know how to milk them very accurately. Even administrators, the people who were administrating those schemes, they do thought, okay, you know milking, have you milked cow, well and good, go. That person said to me, Prakash, the best alternative will be ask. There is a one place where destitute cows are brought. So that is like Goshala in Hindi, we call that. So whatever destitute cow or on-road cows are there, they bring it over there. He's told Prakash, it will be great. We are suffering from man crunch, for the manpower crunch. We don't have enough number of laborers to work over here to take care of these destitute cows. So if a person can come to this place, he can work for 1 or 2 months, he can learn under the proper professional. He will have very good experience of running a dairy. So if that is made mandatory, that at least 2 months service or skilling activity you have to undergo from this dairy training center, then they are awarded those cows. Even if they are given for free, they will have that mindset that yes, I can grow it up into a very good venture. These chicks, when they were giving it for free, what was happening? They were also giving 2 months feed with that. So people will take that chicks and people will take that feed them for 2 months, and then simply start chopping them, eating them, and eventually within 1 month or 2 months, everything will be finished up. Then again in the line, give me chicks. Those all died.
Okay, so needless to say, this is an open session now. We have shared all the structured experiences and all. So if you have any more experiences, anything fun, Keerthi, I think are you getting sleepy now?
I would actually, tell some of my most funniest encounters I've had with my district collector. So, I can share that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So during one of my first encounters with him, so I actually had to remind him every now and then, who like he used to forget me every time. So there was this every time I used to remind him, sir, I just met you 2 days ago. Acha, you are that guy. Okay, huh? So there's this always this forgetfulness in him that I used to constantly, keep reminding him, sir, I'm Keerthi Nathan, I'm such and such and fellow from MSDE. So there was this, and there's this one incident where he confused. He got in the sense that he mistook me for a petitioner. So he assumed that I came to submit a petition. So I just met you 2 days back. I'm the same fellow. So there's this always this. I had this. This kind of encounter with my previous collector, but and then he got transferred. And then the next DC is fine. So she remembers me, but then there was this identity crisis initially with my first collector.
नहीं, so that happens, sir. यहाँ पे क्या है कि as there is an ecosystem already there, we were starting posted with the assistant commissioners of skill development, those that are there. इसलिए क्या होता था कि most of us didn't have a rapport with the district collector. So same used to happen with my district collector at the initial stages. But अभी जो district strategic plan का has come in Maharashtra, तो वहाँ पे I intentionally got myself involved so that वो एक rapport बन जाए. And I am successful यहाँ पे, like 4 to 5 weeks ही हुआ है. I have successfully built a rapport with my collector and अभी थोड़ा सा सही जा रहा है. Like final 5-6 months है. We have to also look forward कि we have to gain something. Like being a mechanical engineer, I am used to see things fruition. Basically कुछ design किया तो build होते हुए दिखना चाहिए, वो work होना चाहिए. It should commission basically. So वहाँ पे कहीं ना कहीं एक थोड़ा जो lag दिख जाता है ना, जब एक guilt feeling type आ जाता है कि we have been here and we are not able to establish something or we are not able to do something outcome oriented. So I had a casual discussion with my Jilla Parishad CEO. I was frank with him initially. जैसे informally दिव्यांशु बोला कि informally आप उनसे बात करने लग जाते हो. So उनके जो life experiences है, उनके जो इधर के experiences है in the IIS life, बहुत ज़्यादा वो overwhelming भी रहते हैं. And if you find them as a mentor, then nothing like that. मेंटर का एक मेरे को मिसमैच यहाँ पे हुआ था, एज इन पिछले जॉब में जो मैं था 2.5 years के लिए, माय जनरल मैनेजर वाज मोर लाइक अ मेंटर टू मी, जिसकी वजह से आई हैड यूज्ड लॉट ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी दैट आई वाज एबल टू कैप्चर एंड ग्रैब। बट यहाँ पे एज आई डिडंट फाइंड अ मेंटर वाला फिगर, सो थोड़ा सा एडजस्ट होने में देयर वाज अ डिफिकल्टी। And यहाँ पे as there was a structure already existed in the skill development ecosystem, whatever new things you are bringing, we were only supposed to fight for that to the end, because for those skill development department people, any new thing वो बोलते कि ये हमारे लिए ज्यादा काम है यार, तुम कुछ नया मत लाओ, तुम तो 2 साल में चले जाओगे, हम पे लोड आ जाएगा। So that's the thing.
Acha, just for a thing, has anyone been pestered for getting married in their districts?
Yes.
Yes.
Many times.
This is a recurring experience in my office, because in my office there are like people are all aged 50 plus and all in my district skill training office.
Exactly.
So they always tell me, Keerthi, you get settled here, you're like so well adjusted to the district. Find a nice lady here itself, settle down, we'll just take care of everything. I was like, okay, ठीक है, अगर कुछ है तो बोल देना, कर देंगे अभी।
Because
like मेरे भी जो डीएम सर थे, तो वो तो whenever I used to visit his office, तो उनका पहला क्वेश्चन यही रहेगा कि the first day when I met him, so he asked, are you married or not? तो right now sir अभी तो नहीं किए हैं। तो ओके, तो इसके बाद गर्लफ्रेंड है या नहीं है? तो I said him no। तो इसके बाद whenever I used to visit him, okay फेलो आ गया, तो फेलो क्या गर्लफ्रेंड मिली या नहीं मिली? उसका फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन एवरी डे, चाहे उनके ऑफिस में कितने लोग हों, कौन से लोग हैं, कहाँ से हैं, कुछ नहीं, doesn't matter, whenever he see me, अच्छा फेलो आप क्या वो गर्लफ्रेंड मिली या नहीं मिली? फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन एवरी डे used to be the same thing। He used to take me sometime for to some visits and all। तो कभी कोई विजिट में जाना रहता था, तो if I'm there in his office, I went to meet him, so he said चलो आज यहाँ विजिट पे चलना है, चलो मेरे साथ। Then he used to take me, then we used to go to that गांव area and all, and after returning back he used to ask me, तो वहाँ कोई पसंद आई या नहीं आई तुमको?
यहाँ पे तो यार अकोला इज वेरी बैड एट सोशलाइजिंग, एंटी सोशल बोलता हूँ मैं तो अकोला। सोशलाइजिंग के लिए देयर आर नो प्लेसेस, आई जस्ट गो टू द ऑफिस, हो घर आ जाता हूँ, तो एवरी वीकेंड आई एम आउटसाइड, एक भी वीकेंड में यहाँ रुकता नहीं हूँ, इसलिए ये थर्सडे है, इसलिए बहुत अच्छा है। फ्राइडे अगर रहता, फ्राइडे सैटरडे संडे नो, स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड नो, बिकॉज फ्राइडे इवनिंग में ट्रैवल करता हूँ, सैटरडे संडे मोस्टली नागपुर चले जाता हूँ। नागपुर इज वेरी यहाँ पे पास 4 hours का जर्नी है, तो नागपुर में हम नागपुर के अराउंड के 5-6 फेलोज है, वी मीट अप देयर एंड फिर वहां पे कुछ मतलब मस्ती करेंगे। नागपुर इज अ प्रॉपर मेट्रोपॉलिटन सिटी, तो वहां पे बिताएंगे, या तो फिर घूमने चले जाते हैं। लाइक एवरी 2 months हमारा आउट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र ट्रिप हो रहा है, 5-6 फेलोज तो हम निकल ही जाते हैं, कहीं बाइक लेके निकलो या क्या।
Rugwed, do you have a 5-day working week?
yeah, Monday to Friday.
Yeah,
Oh,
Monday to Friday।
इधर 6 दिन होता है यार।